Welcome to McArthur Live. I'm your host, Tim Bartz. Come on. This is the third time we've done this now. All right. So we are live with you on McArthur Live here, and we're laughing because we already told you the story why we're doing this for the third time, but it was the second time before because Sarah forgot to hit the go live on the live stream for our little intro streaming and the introduction and everything. But you got to hear the introduction, just not the rest of us. But now we're good. We're live. Audio's on. I usually mute it so we're not talking during the intro clip. Anyway, so those of you that are now do this again, you can check it out on different podcasting platforms. I'm getting a lot of deja vu right now because we did this once. We did a 2-minute clip and realized we weren't live, and then no audio. So thank you guys for in the chat helping us out because otherwise we'd just gone on and on and on and not realized. Anyway, yes.
We're having fun here.
See where we need to go from here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. So if you want to listen, if you instead of listening to the podcast, you want to come or watch on live on YouTube, you can check out the chat. So that's really fun. We have a couple hundred people in here right now, and hopefully it'll get up to a couple 200 or 300 because we're going to talk Maverick stuff, important some information if you're putting a order in, some things to know about your order and how it will be different than last year, and just to make sure everybody knows that after putting in 400 orders now.
Yep.
So we got all the orders in 24 hours.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. We had some people that kept emailing this morning. I didn't get mine. It didn't open up until about 3 or 4 yesterday, and we got 5 orders in like an hour.
Yes.
Because it was crawling. It was like we'd click an option, we'd click another option.
In 2.5 hours, we got 48 in.
Yeah, we got like 48 in.
That's low.
So that's what we got in the first day. So really we got, over about 300 orders in the second day. So only about 50 people actually jumped the gun as ahead of everybody else. But anyway, all right. So speaking of the chat and how awesome it is, and that's because of our great members that we have.
Our membership.
Yes. So let's talk about the membership now that you've rehearsed it once.
All right, so if you'd like to become a member, while you're at that subscribe button, hit the join button. That'll show you all of our perks, everything that has to do with our membership. Our perks, you get member-only content. So you go to the membership tab and the community tab. We'll have lot walks on Saturdays, live on Friday. Anytime we're on holiday or vacation or anything like that, we do member-only content.
Yep.
Our members can tell you we did a fun one for 4th of July.
Yep.
His vacation to the Bronco event, he did one. So, but if you're an iPhone user, you have to do things a little bit differently. Again, did you mention Apple is screwy?
We did in the first rehearsal.
We did in the first.
Did no rehearsal.
All right, so Apple's a little weird. So you have to go to your desktop browser or to your web browser. Hit the little A, big A up by the link, and hit request desktop browser.
Yep.
I'm a little off it today.
Yeah. So we do have a couple. First of all, before we get into talking to the members, there's something I want to highlight here first, and that is our Maverick
meetup,
Midwest Maverick meetup coming up. And so there's a little more information about that. So this is our second annual. August 5th, 2023. It's coming up pretty soon. Oakdale Park this year in Salina, Kansas. So, and it says 11 to 1, but there's more going on. So we'll have I think we're having like snow cones or something there. And we're having a food truck as well, I think. And then from 1 to 4, we have gotten a discounted admission to $12 per person to the garage. That is basically a car museum, and it's right now they got trucks going on right now, so you can see the Hoonigan truck there, and it's pretty cool. So we'll have a lot of fun, and I know some of our members are coming up the night before. We're going to do something special for the members, and hang out with them Friday night and all that good stuff. So that'll be a lot of fun. So
I do know that there will be snow cones at the park, and everyone that comes will get a sticker.
Yeah, you'll get a sticker to put on your vehicle. So those that
So if you come each year, you'll collect the stickers.
Yep. kind of like I was able to collect from the Broncos Super Celebration. I have 2 now. Missed it in Tennessee; they were out, but they had them at Wisconsin, so I was able to
Okay.
get the 2. So
Oh, so they had the ones from Tennessee at Wisconsin?
yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
and so was able to get those, and
Yeah.
yeah, so then I got those, and then yeah, so it was a lot of fun. We'll talk more about that with some of the other events we got going on, but let's talk about the members. If you have some of them highlighted there,
I do. I have about
let's
19 right now.
okay. So let's first off, let's highlight one member that took delivery of their Bronco Sport. So there we go. So that is William and Christy. I think it's Christy.
Yeah.
Their Bronco Sport Heritage Edition that they got. I think they were from Indiana, somewhere like that. But not only the nice pictures of the Bronco Sport, but I love those
Ford Video Guy
sweatshirts.
gear.
Ford Video Guy
I
merch.
actually have
So
that one, I believe.
yeah, I
Yeah.
have the non-hoodie version of that sweatshirt. So
And I got the hoodie version.
took it to Wisconsin, but didn't need to use it. So used the rain jacket a little bit more. But anyway, there. All right, so let's talk about some of our members. And first off, we need to talk about donation.
Yes. I have it right here. Lene Paulson says, member for 20 months, still learning useful things. Thank you very much.
Almost 2 full years with us as a member, so that's awesome.
Yeah.
We started membership about 2 years ago. Around
Mhm.
this time, 2 years ago, right about the time we started doing the live streams.
Yeah. Are we able to bring alcoholic drinks to the park?
I don't know.
Okay. I'll check on that.
Not sure.
Anyways, member activity for the meetup. You can go to the member content and it's listed in there. I will probably make a short on it for you guys so then it can be right there for you.
Yep.
There we go. I can make that tonight.
We're doing a dinner in a special restaurant and hanging out afterwards.
Music
and everything. So
yeah, we're having fun. All right. Mabsim says, better make your coffee a strong one. Ridgeview, I expect it to be a wild one tonight. And Ridgeview is our wonderful moderator, and he was actually your first member. He is almost at 2 years. So
yeah,
there you go.
so we know.
Once
Yeah,
he
when
hits 2 years.
Yep, he was our first member, and it was almost immediately that we turned on the membership. He joined. So
So there we go.
Yep.
All right, we have Blizz Biggie. I noticed that my Maverick is in the production stage now. That is exciting.
Awesome. Congrats.
All right, we have Elizabeth Kittrell. Evening, everyone, from a very muggy St. Louis. It's getting muggy here in the afternoons. Hi, everyone from Tampa Bay, Florida. Gino Abing.
Mm-hmm. And his Maverick is here. He's going to
Yep.
come into the Maverick meetup, or the Maverick Midwest Maverick meetup. Yeah.
Yep. Good evening, all, from rainy Moosehead Lake, Maine.
Mm.
All right, and we have Dennis. Hello from a very hot North California. Hope everyone got their 24 orders in. We'll soon hear some important updates from Tim.
And I think they're coming to the Maverick meetup.
I think
as
so.
Well.
We have Branson MG.
His got scheduled.
Yep. Hello, all from Georgia. We have Francis Arrigo.
And I think his Bronco is previewing this week.
I think so.
I can't remember. We got 2.
But remember, if it's previewing, that does not mean
necessarily.
it will be scheduled.
Not necessarily, but.
Deke Marshall saying hello, my fellow Ellen buddies.
And his just recently came in.
Yep. Michael Craig. I don't know why I started that one instead of your hi. Steve Demipius. Ola from Cabo, Mexico on vacation.
Awesome. His order I've submitted for him today.
Yes, I remember that one. We have All Terrain Nation here with us today.
Hey. Watched theirs last night. Really fun. It was a fun stream last night they had going on. They had a lot of fun. And hey, kudos to you guys. You guys got Jordan on your live stream twice now.
Mm-hmm. We have Ragnar Khan, make way for Prince. Me, Say hey to Prince. All right. Then later he says,
That's from a movie.
bonus points to whomever knows what movie my kids are watching right now. I can say it's Aladdin.
Yeah.
I watched that one a lot. Evening all, got email from Ford that Long McArthur got my rollover order entered. Fingers crossed for early 24. Yes, Larry Perry. I remember listing that one. Jim Hughes says hello everyone. Why isn't it not showing? There we go. And then we have Terry McGee. Good evening to all. We have Rick and Kelly. Hello from Tucson friends, and theirs came in.
Yes, I know they got the accessories on.
Yep.
I don't know if they're coming to get it. I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't.
I can't
I haven't
remember.
been here today, so I haven't checked in on it.
I don't remember.
All right. And then we have Orlando OBX. Got my hybrid submitted. No email. Ego Boost. I'm still waiting on. Make sure that they have your email correct.
Yeah.
Palm Tree. I think he was one that. Yeah, he was here and picked up his vehicle while you were gone.
Sometimes getting that YouTube name and the real names straightened out.
Yes, it can be hard straightening out.
Is that while I was gone last week?
Yes.
That's a bummer.
Dan's customer.
Okay.
That was traveling through to Colorado.
Oh, cool.
So, well, he wasn't traveling through. He flew into here and then drove up to Colorado on Friday. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
I'm glad you told me your YouTube name, by the way. I get them all mixed up. Usually, I either know your real name or I know your YouTube name. And usually, I don't get them connected.
Yeah.
Rick and Kelly says it's being shipped.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay.
All right. Any others?
Well, that's what I got. Wait, Blanca's here.
What?
Good to be back, even for a few. Missed you all. We've missed you, Blanca.
Yeah.
I had Mike emailing you because I hadn't seen you in the chat. We hadn't heard from you, so we were a little bit worried for you. Mike filled me in on what's been happening, so we're glad to see you in the chat.
All Train Nation gave us a donation. Thank you very much. Didn't have to do that. Any word on Mustang release? No. I don't know. I don't have the okay to buy, and they didn't list it on the scheduling because it's all about scheduling.
Wait, we still don't have the okay to buy on those?
I don't think any of them shipped out yet. We haven't gotten any of our stock ones. So, yeah.
Okay, I like this, but it hides my face. It sits here.
You should put it on the Velcro strap because then it sits here. Well, no, I mean like open the Velcro strap, loop it in.
I'm just sticking it to it. There he goes.
There you go.
He sticks.
All right. Let's see what else. This week we had the videos that went live. Last week while I was gone, the 24 Maverick XLT and Lariat complete guide videos. So if you still want to put that order in with your local dealer, they're not closed yet. There's some videos, what's included in standard, optional, and all that good stuff. We'll talk about some changes today.
Mm-hmm.
Haven't had a chance to even look at the 24 Super Duty order guide. I'm hoping tomorrow I can dive into that and do a video on what's different and changed, because I like to compare, not just take the notes that Ford has on that front sheet, because I found about 6 things that was different on the Maverick that was not listed on the sheet, that the order guide sheet that shows the major changes. So I'll break it down. I'll go line by line, hopefully tomorrow, and check those out. And so we'll be doing that. I also have an idea for a Bronco video, so we'll hopefully that's coming soon. So we're gonna the wife and I actually on the way home was talking about, well, which did you like better? Did you like Tennessee better? Did you like Wisconsin better? And we liked them both. They just both were a little different. We had some fun. I think there was less people in Wisconsin, and talking to Tom and some of them with the Bronco Driver magazine, it sounds like their goal is to make more of these smaller events. because Tennessee is getting so big that so many Broncos, they're trying to make these other events maybe get some more people, so the people in those regions don't have to feel like they have to go to Tennessee. So we'll see if these events get bigger and bigger. But I had a lot of fun. Wisconsin was very good, well organized, a lot of fun. We actually got an award. So we got an award for our Bronco. So pretty cool. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually do the show thing at Tennessee because I don't have enough mods, but the Roush kit alone is enough of a mod. So a lot
Yeah.
of people asked us about that. What was included? So we was able to share with some people about that, and plus the other things that we've added to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but anyway, and had a lot of fun off roading, a little more than we did in Tennessee. We didn't go to Windrock, which would have been comparable to the ride that we probably went on in Wisconsin, but it was a new spot, and it was a lot of fun. They claimed that it was probably comparable to level 5 or 6 out of 10 trail, and I'd probably, for me, it seemed difficult, even the very first drive up, because it rained the night before, actually a couple days before, so it was a little wet, but it was a lot of fun, and but some of us that were beginners were actually just got more trail guides, so they talked us through what's going to happen, not just give us directions, but why we need to do what we need to do, which was awesome. So I learned a lot. So now I'm totally hooked now. So be
Mm-hmm.
be prepared. Going to Colorado, we're gonna hit the trails every day. So
I'm excited.
it'll be a lot of fun. So
I'm
and
excited.
we are gonna get some bash plates first. So made a little damage underneath on this last trip. Little dent somewhere, but it'll be all right. It's not major. So
Yeah.
moved the Roush exhaust when we got the next day. I'm like, it used to sit lower than that. We're like looking at it, and just the hanger got twisted, and so it sat up and wouldn't come down. So we just had to move it back down, put it back into place. But
Yeah.
it was a lot of fun. So we'll get some videos, and then, probably on the Ford Video Guide channel. So if you're not subscribed to it, want to make sure you check that out. But anyway, what else? The Super Duty videos, and I want to probably talk about that because I just had a rear locker. Definitely, if you have an order and you do not have a rear locker on your Bronco, put it on your Bronco. So we had some that came with us, did not have a rear locker because I didn't plan to do anything more than about a level 1, 2, or 3. He got with us, not realizing it was an intermediate advanced spot, and there was a couple places where they couldn't go any further. They had to actually get in with us and enjoy the ride with us. So definitely add the rear locker, even if you don't think it's not real expensive to add that. I think at least a rear locker would really help you out, and get you places that maybe you get yourself into. So anyway, I don't know if I necessarily need the front locker. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, we'll talk about that in the video probably. All right. What else? That's it. We'll move on. Got any questions? Anything else?
We have a new member, Robert Bell. Welcome to the crew.
Oh,
Email me
yes.
your information so we can get your new member packet out.
All right. Welcome. I think I put his order in today.
I think so.
Anyway, I put in a lot of orders in the last 24 hours.
It could be like not Robert. It could be a John Bell, or it could be a Robert
I don't know.
Ball, or it could.
So, but we were at about 48 or 50 when we left, and then last night when I went to bed, we were at 150. So I put in another 100 orders last night, I think, and so at midnight last night we were about 150, and then today we're at over 400. So, which we have all of our orders in right now. So 24 hours. I'm pretty proud of that fact.
Yeah.
Let's say, okay, a little over 24. Let's say 27 hours, but they're in there. Anyway, so, all right. Let's talk about a good dealer. So this is a person that nobody actually sent to us, but somebody that I got a chance to talk to at Bronco Supercell in Wisconsin. And so there's Laura there. Was there. She is she's at a very small dealership in Illinois, in Greenville, Illinois. So they're a small family-owned dealership, family-run completely. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Cioni. Al Cioni Ford. Did I say it? Anyway, Laura there. And anyway,
Chiani?
I mean, she's a sales manager, salesperson, marketing. She does a lot of things. So get a chance to really chat with her quite a bit. They do have a YouTube channel. They do a few shorts on there, and even incorporate their kids, which is kind of fun. So I got a chance to talk to her for a while on Friday night at the event. It was a lot of fun. So good dealer. She's talking about how they're honoring MSRP on a lot of not only all their Broncos, all their Mavericks and such. Now they can't take a lot of orders because they don't get a lot of allocations. I think they're supposed to get 10 Maverick allocations this year as is their estimate, and I think they had 5 carryovers. So they'll have a few that they can take, but not a lot of orders. But if you're in Illinois, maybe you need a vehicle fixed, maybe you can find a used vehicle. There you go. So she can hook you up. So all right, want to highlight her. All right, and moving on, get into scheduling now.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm like setting up to talk over the mic. So let me move this down. All right. Scheduling information. Let me know if you guys can't hear me. Okay. So, let's go through this. So 2024 Mustang. They are scheduling this week for production weeks in September. The weeks of 9. Oh, wait. Forgot this. Before we get into that, put the brakes on, put it in reverse. Some of the technologies
Yes.
and terminology we're going to use in order bank. So order bank, like we were saying, we've got all of our orders into our order bank. That is where the dealer places all stock and retail orders. Well, and their fleet orders actually. Retail orders is a customer placed order. That is where we're saying, hey, that's already a sold unit because when it comes in, it's already sold. So it's a retail order. A stock order would be an order that a dealer places for lot inventory. So if a dealer has allocations, let's say they have 10 allocations, but only 5 retail orders, they wouldn't use all their allocations. So they put in some stock orders to make up that difference so they can get their allocations for that month. Which we'll get into that terminology in just a little bit. Priority codes is a priority a dealership is giving to orders. Now it can be anywhere from a 3 to a 19 for a retail order, 20 to 80 for a stock. So when you look at that, the lower the better. So you can see retail orders are always looked at before a stock order. So the reason you prioritize it is you stack it so that you can prioritize your orders accordingly. So retail orders are always looked at by the factory first before going on to a stock order. Now, scheduling, that is when Ford schedules an order for a production date in the future. So we just talked about Mustang as an example that they're scheduling for the weeks of September. That means they're scheduling this week, which is in the middle of July, for production dates in in September. So they do it ahead of time because they got to schedule ahead of time so they can be prepared and have parts ready. Production date is the scheduled to the week or day. Is what we call that. That is when Ford plans to build your vehicle. So we say they're scheduling for these weeks. Some of you might get emails that says, hey, I'm being scheduled for the week of September 4th. Some of you might get yours saying, I'm being scheduled for the week of September 25th. So they'll schedule to the day, and then when it gets closer, or to the week, and then when it gets closer, they'll schedule to the day. And then allocations, Ford gives dealers allocations to schedule their orders. So we put orders in there. Ford gives us an allocation. A dealership needs an allocation to schedule an order in the order bank. If we have 0 allocations, we cannot get an order scheduled. A dealer earns allocations from their sales for each model within their region. So we get allocations based on that. So this month, we had a certain number of allocations based on our sales volume for each of the different models. Each model is differently, is figured different. Constraints, that'd be options that maybe are in short supply or take longer to build. Capacity is the planned production rate for a given motor trim or option. So sometimes we'll talk about, hey, the capacity on the Heritage Edition for the Bronco is 3%. That means Ford's plan is out of the production month, 3% of them will be built as a Heritage Edition. Job 1 and 2, we won't talk too much about that. Most everything is running on a job 2 right now for our 23. or scheduling for a job 1, which would be 24. So they split into 2 jobs in case there needs to be significant changes in the model. It gives them opportunity to stop the production, make those changes in the order guide before starting production up again for job 2, and then balance out. That'd be the end of the production or balance out for what can be produced for the option or model. So we're going to probably start seeing some of that here. We actually talked about it before, and we might talk about it even tonight. So, all right. So going back, 24 Mustang, they are scheduling this week for the production weeks of September 4th to the week of September 25th, which would be pretty much all of the month of September. There are currently 759 retail orders in the order bank, not counting stock. So not a lot. So some dealers are going to have some stock scheduled possibly. So some of the options that are limited availability, and when we say limited availability, maybe we need to add that terminology in there. That means that doesn't mean that they won't schedule any. It's just that it's going to be scheduled at a very limited number, right? That's what limited means. All right. So the options that are limited right now, there's 3 different things in here. They're all different wheels. The 642 wheel is a 19 by 8.5 inch Premier polished aluminum wheel. The 64V wheel, which is a 19 by 8.5 shadow silver painted aluminum wheel, and then the 64M wheel, which is a premium painted aluminum wheel. So those are a limited availability. Some of those wheels, I didn't look those up. Maybe the wheels that are even standard on a particular trim or and such. So you just got to be careful on that. So again, that might be why something's limited. Now, exhausted availability means that they can't schedule any more of those right now, at least this week. And that is the Dark Horse handling package and the Mustang Night Pony package. So if you have one of those, more than likely you won't get scheduled. So, all right, moving on, 23 Escape. They are scheduling for the weeks of September, basically the whole month of September. So again, the same weeks, the weeks of September 4th to September 25th. And most of these models will schedule this month for about 2 months out. So usually September build dates. F-150 and Super Duty is different. They schedule only a month out. All right. Oh, and forgot to mention on the 24 Mustang, order banks are open right now for retail and stock orders. And on the 23 Escape, the order banks are open for a gas and hybrid. They are closed for a plug-in order. They are open for stock orders, and there's currently 649 retail orders in the order bank for the Escape. All right. 23 Bronco Sports. So this is their balance, what they call balance out. So they are finishing out scheduling for 23 model year run. So they are scheduling for production weeks of March. Why do I keep saying March? September 4th through October 9th. So that's the last day that week is the last week they're going to produce a 23 Bronco Sport. So it says 24 order bank will open July 25th. So we get to do this all over again next week. Of course, we don't really have any orders, but so next week is when the 24 model year order bank opens up, and in 2 days they're closing off the 23 model year. So if you do want to get a late 23, then you want to get that order, and you have till the 20th before they shut off. Actually, it says they're shutting off spec changes and cancellations. So probably the order banks are, well, it does say the order banks are open right now. So they'll probably have till the 20th to order one. There's only 481 retail orders in the order bank, so they should be able to get those all scheduled. This says limited availability, though, is the convenience package, which is optional on the Big Ben, and the tech package, which is optional on the Outer Banks. So if you have an order on one of those, you may struggle to get scheduled and may have to put in a 24 model year order. All right, moving on to the 24 Edge. They are scheduling for the week of the month of September, so all the different build dates. The 24 order banks are open for retail and stock. They have about 140 retail orders in the order bank for the Edge, so not a lot. But for some reason, they have exhausted availability on the 20-inch polished aluminum wheel that's option 64Q and the panoramic Vista roof. So we've actually saw that as a problem there for a little while on the Escape. Now it's happening on the Edge. That's option 43P, as well as the ST line all-wheel drive version and ST all-wheel drive version. Those two are struggling as well. They're exhausted on those two. So that's Equipment Group 250A, which is the ST line all-wheel drive, and the 401A ST all-wheel drive version. So, all right.
Quick thing on the questions. If you have questions, it would be helpful to have at Sarah Davis in front of it. That way I can tag it for later. I am saving questions. If you don't know if I've grabbed it, you can tag me to see if I saw it. We do have some other people.
And
we've had a John Ashton and Nathan McDonald joined the crew.
Yep. And then John, thank you for the donation, $5. Is there a difference between the black appearance package wheels and the first edition wheels? Not sure what model they're talking about, but
Maverick.
You can't get a first edition anymore. So
yeah,
but that was a different wheel than the black.
different wheel.
Yes, the black appearance package wheel is different design and a different coating on it than the first edition wheel was.
But as we're going through these sections, if I see questions that pertain to the topic that we're talking about, then we will answer them when he's done talking, and the rest of our questions we will hold till the end because we will probably be going over your question.
Yep. So if your question is in regards to scheduling questions or constraints that we talk about, pop those in, tag her, and we'll answer that into scheduling, and then we'll move on through it. And we'll found if we actually answer some of those questions as we go along, then they kind of get tagged in there, as well as if I pull these off into separate videos like I've been doing, it helps maybe other people too. They might have the same questions, so it helps them. So, all right, 23 Bronco. They were scheduling for the month of September, so weeks of 9/4 through 9/25. Says right here, which we're going to talk about this in just a little bit, but best configurations available: 2-door Badlands, 2-door Wild Track, and 4-door soft top for Badlands and Wild Track. The estimates that Ford gives you is that is just an estimate. So now they're saying 2-door Badlands, 2-door Wild Track. So,
like I said earlier, they can't tell what they're going to be able to build in 6 months.
That's why as a dealer, you just let the people order what they want. And like they told us even on Maverick, here's how many, you shouldn't take any more than this. Well, if I have more people, if all of our carryovers are, most of them are hybrids, we're still going to put them in because there's a likeliness that we're going to get more hybrids if some things change. Like in this, at the beginning in March, this wasn't the issue. 2-door and 4-door was not something that they felt like was a best configuration. Right now, they're saying, yes, it is. So things change when it comes to the factory. The factories don't dictate that. So anyway, it's just something to keep in mind. Base, Everglades, manual transmission, Badlands with optional wheel are balanced out for 23 model year. Balance out means that they can't make any more of those. Heritage Limited Edition 4-door is delayed production and scheduling. Also, the Heritage and Heritage Limited 2-door has exhausted availability. So right now, so if you're looking to get a Heritage Limited scheduled, probably more than likely a 4-door might be your best chance, but they are delayed in production and scheduling. So they're probably not going to schedule a lot. I think probably the rest of this month probably will be, I shouldn't say anything because I'll probably be wrong, but my gut says is that they probably won't schedule too many Heritage and Heritage Limiteds the rest of this month, or July's production month, I should say. Now, limited availability, it says, is the 2-door and hardtop remains a constraint. So they contradicted themselves there. So I don't know. So I think some of the stuff they leave in there from month to month, they just like, oh, let's just copy paste. And then here's a couple notes for this week. And then they don't look at the rest of their notes. But anyway, also they said limited availability is 43Y, which is the hardtop white painted, which could be possibly a clue that it's the white top that's causing a problem with the delays for Heritage and Heritage Unlimited. Also, the 17-inch alloy wheel, which is standard on the Big Ben, is also limited in availability. So there you go. So again, that might be why Big Ben's going to struggle to be scheduled and why they're saying Badlands and Wild Track is going to be easier. Also, 10-way power driver's seat, which is optional on the 4-door Badlands with the leather and the Raptor with the leather, and also standard on the 4-door Heritage Limited Edition is also limited in availability. So if you have so it sounds like what's really, you can only order leather right now. So on some of those. So I don't know. Anyway, Outer Banks, you might be good to go though, because I didn't mention Outer Banks. So there you go. Now, of course, we know order banks are still open for 23 model year. Some people have asked me, "Hey, when does a 24 Bronco order banks open up?" I'm like, we don't know yet. Still don't know that information. I think they're producing into November, but why not put yours in for 23? Unless, of course, you're wanting something that's balanced out. Then yes, you're gonna have to wait. There's about 16,500 retail orders in the order bank, so not a lot. They got a couple months supply there to schedule those, so they might get them all scheduled, but I don't know how many of those are heritage editions that might carry over. But anyway, all right. 23 Explorer, they're scheduling for the weeks of 9/4 to 9/25. Base 100A is for retail orders only. And then the order banks are closed for Explorer Hybrid, but they're open for the gas versions as well as stock. They only have 598 retail orders in the order bank. Limited availability, though, on the XLT Sport Appearance Package and the ST High Performance Package. So just so you know that. All right. Not much other than that. 24 Expedition. So we're done with 23. 23 has balanced out. That means they're done with figuring out what they're going to schedule. But 24 Expedition has production. They're going to schedule for production weeks 9/4 to 9/25. Order banks are open for 24. There's about 912 retail orders in the order bank. We're actually asking customers for orders on Expedition. We're sending out a mass marketing to people that have bought Expeditions from us in the past that we can put in a 24 order. Do keep in mind, rear entertainment system accessory is on limited availability. That's option 21 or 91D. So it does actually say remove this option, all bold, all caps, this option to enable orders to be eligible for scheduling. So take off your rear entertainment system. So got to entertain yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Just put a cell phone in their hand and you're good. All right, 23 Maverick. All right, they are scheduled for the weeks of 9/4 to 10/9. Again, that will be when they're going to finish out that they're doing only retail scheduling and limit availability on the tonneau pickup box cover, hard trifold, go figure, and the hard roll up again, bed tray liner, and the 17-inch carbonized gray alloy wheel. I believe that's the wheel that's standard on the XLT. So those that have an XL Unlimited or XL and not limited Lariat, you probably got your shot this week. So if your dealership has an allocation, we don't. So we're actually done. We already know. It was kind of great taking orders this week because we knew, hey, anybody that's left over, we got to order because all of our scheduling, all of our allocations were used last week. So we knew what was going on. So order banks are closed for 23. And 24 order banks opened up already. So you can put your orders in with those dealerships that can take them. There's about 24,182 retail orders in the order bank. So not too bad. So I don't know how many carryovers they have, how many left the schedule. But they'll probably have about 20,000, maybe a little more or a little less to carry over. So anyway, there you go. We'll talk more about 24 Maverick here later.
Thank you, Michael Orth. I saw that you said your question has been answered, so now I can go and start.
Yeah, that's nice. All right, 24 Ranger. They are scheduling this week, and this is last week they scheduled Raptors. We had our Raptor schedule for our customer. Production weeks that they're scheduling this week. We do have some previewing this week that are regular, I would say regular, but they're XLT Lariat XLs that are previewing this week. So looks like they are going to start scheduling 24 Ranger for production weeks of September 4th to September 25th. They do have a note in here, and we'll talk about it. Well, actually, I'm not going to mention it right now because we'll talk about it later about the Ranger Raptors, and that's the spare tire lock. All right, order banks are open for 24 and 3,300 retail orders are in the order bank right now for the 24 Ranger. All right, 23 F-150. They're scheduling for the week of August 14th. So that's one model that's scheduled a little earlier than the others. They need the 998 engine, which is a 3.5 hybrid orders. So they need some of those. Usually when it's like this and we don't have any retail orders is when we start putting in some motors for some special builds. That's how we got our we came up with our Eco Beast build. It's because one week they told us the same thing. We need some EcoBoost orders. We're like, we don't have any retail orders. Let's put in some EcoBoost Super Crew Lariats, and we did. So now we have our EcoBeast package the same way, because they needed Lariat as well. So the same way, another week they need some regular cab orders. Oh, great. Let's put in some regular cab orders and let's make some lightning bolts out of those. So that's kind of how we come up with some of our packages sometimes, is when Ford needs those. Also, we're going to talk a little bit about the heated steering wheel availability. It's returning to the 23 F-150. So we'll talk about during the dealer news information. So hopefully, if you're wanting information on that, stay tuned for that. Or if you're watching the video on the scheduling notes, you'll have to watch the dealer news update, because we're going to talk about it then. All right. There's currently 3,165 retail orders in the order bank. So anyway, not that many. That's easily can be done in a week. All right. 23 Super Duty. It does say final 23 model year orders. Well, I think any changes have to be done by August 3rd. And they are scheduling for the weeks of 7/31 to 8/28. So all King Ranch and Platinum orders are mass spec changed to include the multi-contoured seat removal option 91X. That happened actually last month. We talked about that on our live stream. They did say very limited availability on the Limited and King Ranch, and exhausted availability on the Platinum and the F550. So we actually, last week we had 15 orders that scheduled while I was gone, and a lot of them were King Ranch and Platinum Unlimiteds. So they did schedule quite a few last week, so that's good. But that's probably why it's exhausted now, because they scheduled a bunch last week. They do have limited availability for the 20-inch bright machine aluminum wheel with the Caribou painted pockets. That's the optional wheel for the King Ranch. Also, the 20-inch chrome aluminum wheel, which is $649. I think that might be the Platinum wheel, or maybe the Lariat optional wheel. And then also 18-inch bright machined with a carbonized gray painted aluminum wheel is 64C. So that's limited as well. And then the 193-inch wheelbase, which is optional on the XL and XLT 450s, 550s, and 600 chassis cabs. That's also limited right now in production. And it says LK frame, which is optional on the F550, F600 with the 6.7 liter and the 7.3 engines, and the 145-inch 145-inch wheelbase on the dualies with the payload package. So, all right. Exhausted availability, though. Oh, man, that's a big list. All right, so all these options following this are all exhaustive availability, which means they probably won't schedule any. So first one is the 19.5-inch wheel that's standard on the 450. So probably won't get one of those scheduled. The 205-inch wheelbase that is optional on the XL, XLT, 450, 550, 600 chassis cabs. The four-corner strobe light. The gooseneck dual hitch kit. So if you have that on your order and you want to get it scheduled, you might want to remove it. Heavy duty alternator, which is standard on the XL gas, and also it says select optional on the 67B, 67D, and 67E. Also exhaust availability on 600 4x4s, which we had that last week. The fifth wheel hitch kit. So this isn't the prep package. This is the actual hitch kit. Which you can probably get that later. Star White Metallic Tri-Coat is exhausted. So now none of these say balanced out. So this could be available next week, but just for this week, we know they're not available. The 203-inch wheelbase fuel tank with the low sulfur diesel fuel. A lot of these are on your big trucks, your 450s, 550s, and such. You have the Tenneco shock absorber in the rear that's standard on the 250 F350 with the gas engines, 4x4 and single rear wheels. The two-wheel drive Dana Axle 12216, which is optional on the 450, 550, 600 with the dually and 4x4 pickup, or the two-wheel drive chassis cab is limited. And there's a bunch of others. I don't know if we need to keep going on all those, but so they are trying to balance out and build out for the rest of the model year, but the rest of them are a bunch of different axles and frames. So two-wheel drive F350s, I will say you're probably going to struggle, because It seems like every different frame that's available, the KBK frame, the HBK frame, and the GBK frame are all exhausted. So anyway, and if yours has the Dana axle M275 in the rear or the M315 in the rear, it's also limited, and those are on the big trucks as well. So again, they're trying to finish out that 24 model year. Order banks are open for the Super Duty right now. Now, for those of you, like we actually have about 60 unscheduled Super Duties right now. Those orders we do not need. Depending on the dealership, you may not have to put in a new order for your 23 unscheduled order. Like for us, all of ours we've been told are going to get scheduled within this model year. That's the reason they actually stopped it when they did, as they tiered it out and stopped certain things, was because that way they could make sure they could produce all those vehicles. So they've already told us we have about 60 allocations left. We actually have 60 retail orders. So all of ours will get scheduled. I think we have one that'll need to be reordered because of something that we missed on a black appearance package, which is no longer available to add to the order. And so we missed that, and it was still on Priority 99. So that's one we'll have to reorder. But otherwise, most of them, talk to your dealers. They may be able to schedule everything. According to Ford, their plan is that they should be able to schedule everything. So if you have an unscheduled 23, you shouldn't need to reorder a 24. And you'll have time too, because they probably won't. They're not going to close that order bank real quickly because of the production level. It'll probably be a while. Now let's talk about 23 model year mach-e. Of course, we're on job 2. They're scheduling for production weeks 9/4 through 9/25. The only thing that's exhausted right now on the mach-e is the California Route 1 version and the select versions, rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive versions, which is weird. So the order banks are open right now for those. There's only 29 retail orders in the order bank right now. So probably get yours scheduled pretty fast. Transit Connect, van and wagon are scheduling for the weeks of September 4th to September 25th. Stock orders are open, but the van and cargo vans, or the van and wagons, are closed. They have about 4,411 retail orders in the order bank, and they're going to bank these through into, I think, December, because this is the last year for Transit Connect in the U.S. All right, 23 Transit. I feel like this is like Super Duty. Okay, they are producing. they're scheduling for production weeks 9/4 to 9/11. So those 2 weeks, order banks are closed for the gas. They're open for the e-Transit. They need those, and open for stock. There's about 16,920 retail orders in the order bank right now. And it does say orders are needed for the BEV. So they're looking for the BEV is your e-Transit. So looking for those orders. And then it does say the 3.5 liter V6 Cyclone, that's 998 engine, which would be on your order sheet. They are needed from dealers with remaining non-BEV commodity allocations on high and low roof. So limited availability on the power sliding door, the heavy duty front axle, which is standard on all wheel drives. The trail package is limited available. Sync 4 with the HD nav system, that's option 58F, is limited, and the heavy duty cargo flooring 60B option. Now, the things that are balanced out completely is the power running boards, the side 60/40 barn doors. Those are balanced out, which means they won't schedule any more orders with that. The all crew van body codes, and the Transit 350s with the dual rear wheel, cutaway cabin chassis, and the cargo van. Those are all also balanced out. So not available for stock orders, they said, is the 360-degree camera, and the high resolution camera, and the 3.5 EcoBoost engine 99G. So, of course, we have retails that can't get scheduled right now. So I don't know what's going on there, if we're going to get scheduled or not. But order banks are not open up yet for 24. We don't have information on that yet. So there you go. All right. Scheduling's over.
All right.
Any questions on that?
Well, RiderCon is saying that we need to make a game based on scheduling. Oh, sorry, you drew Moonroof card. No scheduling for you. Skip the next 4 weeks. We're developing this
That's
game
funny.
throughout scheduling.
Ford scheduling. Yeah.
I was like, well,
Draw four.
that'll have to come with a hefty definition guide.
Skip your turn. Skip your next 4 turns. Oh, you got the roof. Skip next 4 turns.
Yeah.
You have a Mustang Dark Horse Edition. Skip 6 turns.
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. Okay.
All right. So
We have some fun dealer news.
all right. I'm looking to see if we have any scheduling questions here. I feel like there's a few. Got that one. We did those 2. Just curious to ask, have they built any limited Super Duty yet that you know of?
Build, I don't know. Scheduled, yes. They've been scheduling some.
Okay.
So.
All right. No. Sorry. There's like 33 comments in here. Can you explain what a priority code is?
So yeah, at the beginning I talked about that, what the priority codes are. So if you have a retail order or a customer placed order, then they're going to have a priority code anywhere from like 1 if it's a specialty vehicle, or 2 if the Ford likes it. Otherwise 3 to 19, and then stock orders are 20 to 80. So the lower the better. So if you're a priority, if and it really only matters within your own dealership. So like for our dealership, all of our Maverick orders today we put in, or the last 24 hours that we put in, were all priority 10s. They were all given priority 10s. So, if a dealership says, hey, you know what, this is an order that they've been waiting a while or whatever, we need to prioritize a little bit lower. So they might move that number down to help that order get scheduled if they know, hey, they've been, overlooked or whatever. But you can tier your orders out based on that. I mean, some dealers will use those lower numbers for local customers, maybe, like we put in orders today. We've seen some people from Salina, and we're their only dealer, and so maybe you want to prioritize your local customers or loyal customers that have bought 10, 20 vehicles from you. You may want to give them the highest priority, and that's why Ford actually has the default being a 19, is that their thought is you put everybody in as a 19. But then when you have somebody that you want to prioritize and you want to kind of schedule, then you can bring that down to 18, 17, whatever. But that's basically what the what's supposed to happen. Ford on the Maverick got a little frustrated because dealerships didn't prioritize their carryover orders for 22. And so because of that, some of those didn't get scheduled. We did the right thing. We did what Ford said to do. We prioritized them lower than any of our new orders, and all of them got scheduled. So we're not in that same boat. But anyway. All right. Any other?
Wait, nope. If I put in a retail order for Ranger Raptor and get the email from Ford saying that it's been ordered, am I still subject to allocations from my dealer?
Yes. Placing that order does not mean anything. The dealer still needs an allocation to get it to schedule. They could
placing
put
an order is just placing.
Yep.
You didn't have to get scheduled for it to then be built.
Yes.
So there's one more step in there.
So like for all dealers are receiving one Ranger allocation. Fourth quarter, we're supposed to get more allocations for the rest of the year. But if that dealership already has used their one allocation that's been scheduled, that one order, and they have 5 more orders, they'll just sit in there.
Yeah.
Because they won't get another allocation until they've earned another allocation. So like recently we had 2 Bronco Raptors allocations that went last week. We had some F-150 2 F-150 Raptor allocations that went last week, and a Ranger Raptor allocation that went. So we needed orders for those. So, like on the F-150, we had actually, all of our retail customers had already received theirs. And we actually were able to fulfill I think 1 Bronco Raptor customer. And then after that, if we didn't have a retail order, then we just put in a stock order at that point for those, and then get one in. Then when it comes in, we sell it. A lot of our F-150 Raptors have been that way. A lot of them have been stock because all of our retail customers have been scheduled, because we do get a lot of F-150 Raptors. I think we're in the top 50 in the country for F-150 Raptor sales. So anyway. All right. If you want to move that, I'll move on.
All right.
All right. Well, let's move on to dealer news. Okay, so let's talk about a couple things, and one of them is the heated steering wheel for the F-150. So some great news here. The heated steering wheel availability is returning to the 23 model year F-150 trucks. Heated steering wheel removal option 94X will no longer be available to order starting Friday, July 21st. That's this Friday. 2023. I had to look at the calendar. Retail and fleet orders placed before Friday, July 21st, 2023, will be built as ordered. So basically, whatever gets scheduled this week will be built still without that, the heated steering wheel. But if it doesn't, then for any orders that are in there starting next week, those, you need to remove that. So, cannot remove that option until the 21st. So until after this week's scheduling. So anything that's scheduled to be built will be built with it. So it does say in here, most existing 23 model year F-150 stock orders with a heated steering wheel removal option that have not been built will have the option code 94X heated steering wheel removal removed from the order on Monday, July 24th. So if as a dealership you have an order in and it doesn't get scheduled this week, and come Monday, yours hasn't been scheduled, and you have that heated steering wheel possibility and that option removed, go to your dealer, get it removed, and then that way that next week, if you were to get scheduled, you'll get the heated steering wheel. So, and it may be something, if you have an order in a retail order on an F-150, again, there's not that many, 4,000 orders, or something like that, or 3,000, not that many, but it's back. Heated steering wheel is back, which that's nice because we've had a lot of King Ranch and Platinum customers not take their F-150s because of the heated steering wheel, believe it or not. All right, moving on. 24 Ranger Raptor. Don't forget the spare tire lock dealer installed option needs to be removed. All right, it does say by July 21st. So in order to ensure 24 model year Ranger Raptor orders are eligible for scheduling, please remove the spare tire lock option from all Ranger Raptor orders by July 21st, 2023. Ranger Raptor orders with the spare tire lock will not schedule until the DIO option is removed from that order. So that's saying here, please note, non-Raptor orders with the spare tire lock option are not impacted. This is only for the Ranger Raptors. So Ranger Raptor is the only one. So you can still leave that spare tire lock on. So for those of you who don't know what that is, on your F-150s, Rangers, some of your trucks, there's a lock on the back of the bumper. And we actually did a short about this because it has a little spot where you would lower the spare tire. For years, Ford has put a lock on that. So you needed your key to be able to open that and then take that off so people didn't lower your spare tire down. Well, they were in 2023, they removed that lock from the orders. And on the Ranger, they made it a dealer installed option. If you want that lock, you got to add it. So you got to pay for it, which is kind of funny. But on the Raptors, they cannot, for some reason, put that on there. I don't know why, but I don't know. It's just whatever. It's just a cover. It must have to do with the bumper or something. But anyway, so there you go. That's a note on there. So if you got a Ranger Raptor and you're at a dealer and you can't get that allocation to schedule, that would be why. All right. Mustang. We got a price increase already on 24 Mustang. This is on the yellow splash metallic tricoat paint color. It's going up. Wait a minute. It says tricoat option priced. It's going up by $995. What? Okay. I'm going to read the full details of that because I didn't read that line. Anyway, starting effective July 18th, today, the yellow splash metallic tricoat paint color will go up in price. It does say it goes up by $995, but I think it means it goes up to $995 because that's probably expensive enough, Ford. Anybody that has an order before that, though, is price locked to the old price. So I think maybe the price was lower, like $495 or something, and they realized it's not a tinted clear coat, but a tricoat. So so they're going to raise the price on that color. So all right. Lightning. F-150 Lightning prices are dropping. They're dropping. Effective July 17th, which was yesterday, 23 F-150 Lightning has lowered their prices. So I don't know why they have the Pro version on here. You can't get a Pro version, so I'm going to skip it because you can't get one anyway. XLT, though, the 311A standard range is now $54,995. So it lowered $49,479 to be specific. The 312 with the standard range package is now $59,995. And then the 312 extended range XLT is now $69,995. That's more like under 70 grand now for an XLT extended range. So that lowered about $8,800 as well. Not only that, but the Lariat 510A standard range lowered to $69,995, so 70 grand. The 511A extended range is now $77,495, so it lowered as well. And then the Platinum extended range went down to $91,995. So there you go. And then the so those lower down. Destination delivery charge is still $2,000. Anyway, so there you go. All those have lowered. It does say select models currently eligible for the $7,500 and potential federal Inflation Reduction Act tax credits include 311A, 312A, 510A, and 511A. They may qualify as long as the base vehicle price and options are under $80K MSRP, excluding the destination delivery charge, taxes, title, and license fees. So we're talking about the MSRP, subtract the $2,000 for the destination delivery. If that's under 80, you get the tax credit. So that's how that works. So a lot of people think it's based on the deal, what the dealer charges. Hey, if it's an over 80 grand, but the dealer only charged me 75, nope, that's not the way it works. It's whatever the MSRP says without the destination. So you'll take the destination charge that's on the window sticker, and then it needs to be under 80 grand for the sales tax credit. So that is good news for a lot of people. We have actually heard that any vehicles, we've had a lot of customers said, okay, my vehicle's been scheduled. What's my price? Is it going to be the old price or this new price? We were told any unscheduled or undelivered vehicles will get the new price. That's what we were told. So we'll wait to see if that's true or not. They have told us that they were working really diligently. They are looking at even possibly the ones that are in stock at dealers. We have one right now. We'll get the new price as well. We don't know about that, but we believe anything that's not scheduled or that's not built yet, that's scheduled, is supposed to get the lower price because it hasn't been invoiced yet, because it gets invoiced when it gets built or right before that. So that's typically when the price goes into effect. So we were told, so I would assume anything built, but I don't know about anything currently scheduled. So we'll find out. If we get new window stickers with lower prices, then we know that's happening. But we'll get, so to be continued on some of that. But if you're not scheduled or not produced yet, not scheduled for production until August, which a lot of them are, a lot of ours are scheduled for August build dates. Those should all get the new lower prices. Mm-hmm. Congratulations. And a lot of people are asking why. Maybe that'll be a different episode. Well, we might have to put that in a little bit different episode because thoughts on that. But Ford is saying it's because of their up in production and the amount of, and they're able to get a lower cost on the batteries is why they're lowering the price. Some people have different theories on that. Don't know what my theory is on it. Don't know what my belief is on it. I think it's because for us, we have to lower them about $8,000 on a Lariat just to sell it when somebody doesn't take one. So I think it's because they don't want them. They don't want them to sit on the lots. They don't want to see that. They want to be a leader in this, so they're lowering the prices so they can sell them. That's my feeling on it. So.
Agricon says, so what you got to do is keep the old window stickers and then magically have a discount off MSRP for that vehicle, and then the dealer looks awesome.
Oh, yeah, keep the old one. We had one actually show up that we got a new window sticker where it was lower or something. Or wait, yeah, it was lowered. And so anyway, I don't know. It was wrong or something. I don't know. All right. Also on the order guides, the 24 Super D order guide is out, of course. Order banks are open. We'll talk about that in another episode. Let's talk about recalls. I don't know if you consider all these recalls. Some of them are just, they're not all safety. We have one safety recall. The rest are compliance recalls, this first one is a customer satisfaction. Oh wait, got to do this first.
Fancy graphic.
That helps us know where to divide it when we separate these video clips out.
I forgot water. I'll be right back.
All right, you do that while I do recalls. All right, first one is a customer satisfaction program 23B as in Bravo 37. Certain 23 model year Aviator and Explorer vehicles equipped with the 3.0 liter engine, turbo hose, routing, inspection, and repair. So only 472 vehicles are affected by this. This program will be in effect through August 4th of 2024. So you have a whole year. Basically says in some affected vehicles, the 3.0 turbo hoses may have been routed incorrectly over the engine oil cooler hose, which may result in a touch condition between the engine oil cooler hose and the crankshaft pulley. A touch condition can lead to a coolant leak, resulting in a high temperature warning and a check engine light. If the engine overheats, it could result in a loss of motive power. So anyway, so dealers are to verify that the turbo hose is routed correctly behind the engine oil cooler inlet hose. I won't go through the service thing, but basically, if you're affected by this, you'll get a letter the week of July 21st or July 31st here, and get that sent to you. So you might be asking, Tim, why are you struggling reading this stuff? It's because really, usually on this, I need my glasses. Otherwise, I got to go like this. No. All right. The second one is a compliance recall 23C. That'd be Charlie, right? 14. I don't know all the call signs for this. Certain 2020 to 2023 model year police Explorer equipped with a 12.1 inch integrated computer screen. Not sure why I'm covering police Explorers, but I didn't look at these ahead of time. Again, I was putting in orders. Only 521 vehicles are affected by this. The affected vehicles do not conform to the required specified by the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standard. Sections 55.5.3 response time. Okay. Anyway, when the customer turns the display on/off button to off prior to placing the vehicle in reverse, the rear view camera image will not appear on the display. So again, another image issue here. Letters are being mailed out the week of July 31st for this one as well. Another compliance recall 23 Charlie 20. Certain 2018 and 2023 through 2023 expeditions and Lincoln Navigators and 2019 to 2023 model year Super Duties. There's a head restraint owner's manual addendum. Owner's manual addendum? Are you serious? So 690,612 vehicles are affected by this. The affected vehicles do not conform to the requirements specified by the Federal Motor Vehicle Safety Standards on the head restraints, which requires each vehicle's owner's manual to include an accurate description of all head restraint and instructions for removal and adjustment of each head restraint. Mm-hmm. See, some of this stuff is not like a recall. I mean, come on. I mean, really? So you're going to get letters the week of July 24th, 2023. And if mine's on it, I don't even care if the recall gets done because I don't look at the owner's manual anymore. I know some of you do. It's okay. But the operation of the head restraint is not that difficult. All right. Anyway. Okay. I'll go on before I get myself in trouble. This in here is a safety recall, though. 22S 74, and that's on certain 2017 to 2018 model year Super Duty vehicles equipped with the 6.2 liter and the 6.7 liter engines that are 4x4 that have the longer wheelbase, the 176-inch wheelbase with the 4.1 or 4.3 axle ratio and a two-piece steel drive shaft. Yeah, go check and make sure your vehicle has all that stuff. No, I'm kidding. You'll get a letter. 18,802 of these are affected by this. And some of these affected vehicles, the internal radial damper, may move out of design position over time. This may cause a drive shaft imbalance in production, noise, vibration, and harshness symptoms. So it'll be loud. If unaddressed, the drive shaft may fracture, though. A fractured drive shaft may result in loss of motive power, of course, while driving, unintended vehicle movement while the vehicle is in park. That's a big deal. If the parking brake is not applied, it may result in secondary damage to surrounding components. A fractured drive shaft increases the risk of course, injury and crash. All right, so letters are going to go out the week of July 31st. So you might be looking for those letters if you have one of those vehicles. So there you go. That is it for recalls. So yeah, like I said, a couple of our compliance recalls, just something they have to adhere to with the Federal Motor Vehicle Standards.
All right.
Any questions about recalls or dealer news updates?
A few. All right. I actually had
Really?
one that said recall question and that they shared it at the very beginning.
If it's a past recall, I may not be able to get you that information.
Midcoast Main says, I received a new recall for the underhood fire engine problem on the hybrid. Ford says parts will be available in October. My question, what parts are involved?
I'd have to look it up, the recall up.
Okay.
I don't have that in front of me, but
yeah,
I'm not sure.
And then McArthur says, on a bright spot, Tim, my local Ford dealer, says that they will do the engine fire recall once they get the parts. I think Ford contacting them after not wanting to do my airbag one. So he was the one that his local dealer said no.
But would you go back there?
Do you really want to go to them?
I mean,
I'd just go to the one that you used last time.
We'll have to,
unless it was too far out of your way and you want to use your local one.
Yeah.
Our 400.
Would you count that they're going to do it right?
Yeah. Our 400 Maverick orders were all rollovers. We did not put a single new one in.
Correct.
All
so
right.
we're still not taking any orders.
Yeah.
But because we'll be able to, just like right now, you could put a 23 stock order in. So we'll take care of these customers. And if for some reason we get, so we are supposed to get, the allocations we have are actually less than our 400 that we have in. Mm-hmm. But I feel like we're going to get more allocations than the estimate because it is based on your sales volume each month, right? Minus, of course, you're going to take out what you have in stock. So as long as if we do a really good job of selling out those vehicles and not holding on to them, hey, if one becomes available, trying to mark it up. What happens when one comes available? Should be selling it to somebody that already has one on order that hasn't been scheduled and sell it to them at MSRP so we can help that customer. So that is our end goal, and that is what we're doing. There was some confusion about that for a little bit this week, but I think it's cleared up. So that's what we're doing. When one becomes available, the first thing we should be doing is, I think we put one out there on Facebook or something, but should be contacting our own customers, finding out who it maybe wants one that hasn't been scheduled yet and taking delivery of that one. But doing that. So, but also, again, the allocation number is adjusted and figured out each month. So it's based on our last 12 months. Well, guess what's going to happen here in a couple of weeks? We had 75 allocations a couple months ago. Those are going to be being built in, I think, August. We're going to start delivering those in September. So once we start delivering those in September, then that allocation number is going to be huge in that next month and actually be big for the next 12 months prior to that, because that number wasn't figured into our 12 month. It was based on what our current estimate was when they figured that at the end of June. At that time, those vehicles they don't see those. They're only looking at sales. So I see that number being closer to 400 and be able to fulfill all of our orders. Yeah. So I think we should be okay.
Someone said, can you be bought? Nope.
Be bought.
Like, as in, can they pay us to put in an order, 24 order? No. In fact, I don't think we have any employee orders going in.
No. And we have local customers that want to order with us, and we'd probably fulfill those first.
Yeah.
We have a lot of people from outside, a lot of other places ordering with us because they want to, but our local customers
are still,
we're their local dealer. That
So we always suggest when we take orders from people, we say, well, do you have a good local dealer? Yeah. If so, we suggest that you try ordering with them first.
Because if we
but we're some people's local dealer. We have to, help them out as much as we can
Yep.
because we are
We
their
don't
local
want to
dealer.
see our local customers go to Wichita and Kansas City because we couldn't put an order in for them.
Yeah.
We got to take care of our local
So if
customers
anything,
too. So
we might,
Yeah.
if we had room.
If we had room, we would put in local ones, but we don't because we've already put in our 400 for this year. What we're telling to a lot of our local customers is let's put you on a list if one becomes available.
Yeah.
And
then pre-order for 25.
Yeah, pre-order for 25. We'll see. And if anything happens, it may be that an EcoBoost would be more easily attainable than, and we'll see what Ford does on that, but we'll find out. All right. Any other questions before you go? I got a good Is It True for this week.
Let's get the Is It True.
Okay. So I want to thank Michael Branson for this. He found this out on Facebook. He wanted to find out because his vehicle is scheduled and has a VIN number, but is not built yet. And so he said, is it true that I need to submit a 24 model year Maverick order if my order hasn't been built yet, but it has a VIN number? So no, you do not need to. So if you are scheduled, you have a VIN number, you do not need to put in a 24 model year order. Do not need to do that. So here's a situation. This happened actually last year. We had some customers had a VIN number, and in past years, hey, you got a VIN number, you're going to be built. You don't need to worry about anything. You'll be built. So at the end of last year, there's about 7,000 Maverick orders that they couldn't build. That had VIN numbers. Order banks closed, right? They were closed off. Well, what did Ford do? Ford then put those orders in as a new order, and then they gave them the highest priority. Is what they did. So if that were to happen this year again, they would do the same thing. So if you have a VIN number, you don't need to worry about it because at worst case scenario, if they can't build it, they will then slide your orders in with everybody else's, but give it the top priority because you already had a VIN number, and then that wouldn't happen. So don't need to worry about it. If you got a VIN number, you're good to go. Don't worry about putting that 24 model year order in. So I don't know who posted that, but they're wrong. Okay. Anything else about that? Probably not.
No. Did you see? I was going to go look at how many subscribers we had because we hit over 60,000.
Yep, we're over 60 now.
Let's get us to 100,000. Anyways, it had a notification saying it's your channel's birthday.
Oh.
So you started the channel. I don't know how many years ago. It doesn't tell you. It just says it's your birthday.
2014, I think. All right. Hey, we're almost 10 years old. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about things that are not available on the 2024 Maverick. So I think this is important information. Had to put that graphic up there. Okay, let's talk about the things that are not available or are significantly different from your 23 order for your 24. I did cover this in a video, but I want to make sure people know there are some different changes. We put in like I said, 400 orders, so we got a chance to see this and playing out, and with a lot of our carryover orders that sales guys are going to need to get with and confirm these things and letting customers know. Sorry to tell you, these things are not going to be available. So this is probably going to be its own video. So things that you would not, I'll probably make it in a separate video, but I think it'll be a good video to go over and talk about the things that are not on your going to be on your 2024 Maverick. So let's first talk about the black appearance package on the XLT trim. So in 2023, the XLT black appearance package did not require you to add the luxury package. This year, you cannot get the XLT black appearance package without adding the luxury package. So it's required to add that. So you have to add the XLT luxury package if you want the black appearance package. So now it's going to be even more expensive. So your private offer is going to be based on what your order was last year. Hopefully Ford reimburses maybe people that want that black appearance package a little extra money if they have, because they have to add the luxury package, because that's an extra, isn't it? What was the package? $2,000 or something? I don't know. I didn't look that closely at prices. I think it's like $2,000. Now the FX4 package is not available by itself either. So if you have that EcoBoost all-wheel drive, you want to add the FX4 off-road package, you can't order it without adding the 4K tow package. That will be required as well. So if you add that on there If your dealer comes back to you and says, if you look on your order sheet and say, what's this 4K tow package? I just want the FX4. You cannot do that without adding the 4K tow package. So there's another thing that's not available this year is to add the FX4 package alone. Also, the XLT Tremor package requires the Copilot 360 package. You can no longer just add the Tremor package. I think this actually goes, oh no, never mind. We'll get to that in just a second. So XLT Tremor package requires you to add the Copilot 360 package. I went to go on an order. I went to added the Tremor. I'm like, where's the Copilot 360? It's not here. And I like had to look on the order guide and go, oh, there's the note down there. It says the Tremor package requires the Copilot 360. So it's already included. So you have to get that as well. So I think you should have it anyway. But also, something that's not available this year is a base Lariat. So you can't just order the Lariat without adding the luxury package, the Copilot 360 package, and the Copilot 360 Assist packages. To go up to the Lariat, it includes all three of those, which I will say putting in orders was so much simpler on those because we didn't have to worry about adding those three packages. But there are going to be some people out there that are a little frustrated with that because maybe they just want that ActiveX seats, maybe some of those features or the look, and they don't want the Copilot 360 Assist. Maybe they're not going to use it on the highway, whatever. Don't have an option this year. You're going to have those as well. A couple other options that you will not see this year: standard alone options, manual sliding rear window on the XL and XLT, not available this year. You're not going to get it. Not happening. Fixed glass roof, unless you want to go up to the Lariat trim with all the three of those different packages. Also, the 400-watt outlet that's in the cab, that is no longer a standalone option either. So there are a lot of orders. As I was going through trying to replicate the order, can't add that, so we're done. That kind of thing. That also is not available on the XL or XLT. That is to get a 400-watt outlet. You get it in the cab as well as the bed by going to the luxury package. That is the only way to get that. Front license plate bracket doesn't seem like a big thing, but I'm including it because there are a lot of our orders that it was in the order guide. I don't know, did you put it in there? So a lot of them, front license plate bracket was available as an option, but you would not let you submit the order. It froze.
Really?
It would not let you submit it. So you saved them on the first night because we couldn't submit them for a while. Well, when I went to go mass submit those saved orders, there's like 5 or 6 orders that I just locked them, and they were I didn't understand why. So I went in there. It was because of the front license plate bracket. Now we did cover in our video, front license plate bracket wasn't available as a standalone option this year, and because of that. But it shouldn't have been included. So Ford, you need to take that out. You need to fix that. Your ordering system is broken. Not broken, but you need to remove that option because it's not available this year. So remove it. So that way, so if you have one out there and your dealer tells you,
we can't order it yet.
it will not let me submit it. It lets me save it. I can't submit it. Don't know why. Have them look and see if the front license plate bracket option is added to it. That might just be the simple fix for that. Some other things to note about your luxury packages: remote start and the bed liners are included on both the XLT and the Lariat luxury package. So you don't have to worry about remote start. It's not a standalone option, by the way. So you're not going to be able to add a remote start to any of them. It's not available
on your order
at all. You can't add it on your order as a standalone option. It's included in your luxury package for XLT and Lariat trims. Also, XLT will get a drop-in liner. No way around that. That is what you're getting. And the Lariat trim will get the spray-in bed liner included in that luxury package. No way around that either. And then the Lariat will get the bed rail system included in the luxury package. That bed rail system is available on the XL and XLT, though, as a standalone option. So anyway, so those are some things that as we're putting in a bunch of orders, we realized some things that aren't
states that
available.
require front license plate bracket, that will be standard
equipment.
But what do?
We have to get it aftermarket to get it through accessories and then
that doesn't
install
seem
it.
right because it comes with the vehicle standard.
If you're in a state that requires
If you're in a state that requires
if
it.
you're a dealer in a state that requires it. So we're not.
So
none of ours will have it on there. So if you're in a state that requires a front license plate, you're going to have to let your salesperson know because we're going to need to order it and have it here when the vehicle gets here and install it for you.
So it costs extra.
Yeah. Unless we want to throw it in, which we probably could do. We'll see.
Yeah, the bed utility discount that was for 23 only.
Yes, that is. Oh, good point. So you won't see a discount this year. They were trying to push that, and their way of getting those in there is by adding it to the Lariat luxury package. So that's what they did this year. So now they're going to be included on all those. So that is their way of adding the bed rails. So you're not no discount for that this year. So that was a special 2023 discount. You won't see that this year.
I like Zoom Junior's comment. Zip ties for all. You don't need like front license plate bracket. Just zip tie it to the front bumper. Get some black ones. It'll blend. It'll be okay.
Yep. All right.
Alrighty. Well, that was our topic, so we should just go into the
Q&A.
Q&A. What is electronic brake boost?
That's a good question. We see it standard on all your hybrids. So my assumption is it has to do with regeneration and such, but it's also available. We see it standard on the Lariat trim EcoBoost as well, but not an option you can add. So my assumption is that I don't know. I haven't researched that much on that. I have noticed it.
RagnarCon knows that one. Drop it, Ragnar.
Yeah, let us know. You'll know that my dad's a mechanic. I'm not. I have no idea.
He didn't get any of it from him.
No.
Alrighty. So let's start from the very top. If I don't get to your question right away that you asked a while ago, we have 39 questions in here. So just hold on and we will get through them. So we'll start with Gene Hanks. So confirmation is not COVP.
And I think you're probably referring to the confirmation email that you received.
Yes.
That means your order submitted. That's it. That's all that means. Your order's in. Ford sees your order does not mean that it's COVP. Your dealership, and there's no way to know that. You can call Ford customer support, and they won't tell you whether or not your dealership has done that. I can tell you we have not done that on any of our orders. Our orders are submitted. That was our first big thing. Now it's time for our sales guys to work. We worked our butts off, so now it's time for our sales guys to do it. So all of our sales guys will be confirming those orders, how they were, and how we put them in. A lot of colors, again, colors we didn't mention.
Yeah,
colors not available. We had a lot of ours. If you had Area 51, we put Atlas Blue in on the orders to get them submitted. We actually didn't have any cyber oranges that we had to put in. I didn't notice anybody that had cyber orange on their order from their 23 order.
We have a cyber orange available, or is it? Maybe did it get sold today?
It probably got sold. But maybe Ford tried to get the cyber oranges. I don't know. But a lot of Alto blues that we had to switch to, like I put Atlas Blue in. Some of those. We had a lot of people in XL with carbonized gray. That I had to put cactus gray. A couple avalanche tremors that we had to put in as cactus gray. So so we're gonna have our sales guys will confirm those, make sure everything's good how they want it. We'll make changes. We'll be busy making some updated changes and everything that won't affect your order. Anything else? Now would be the time if you want a different trim level, different motor. Now would be the time to be able to make those changes and everything. And that won't affect anything on your orders because getting the order submitted was the most important thing, was getting them all done. But there you go. So,
all right. So RagnarCon answered the question. Brake boosts are either driven by vacuum or by electronics. Most older breaker boosts are vacuum driven. Alice.
Brake systems.
Newer brake systems use electronic brake boost. The 2.7, for example, uses electronic brake boost and therefore has access to one pedal drive and a few other features that aren't in the 2.3. So brake boost equals assisted braking, similar to power steering, but for your brakes.
There you go.
All right.
Yeah, which is why you see it a lot of times in the hybrids, assisted braking, so that.
I got a lot of comments on my shirt tonight. I've been home with my 3-year-old and 1-year-old today. My 3-year-old wasn't feeling the best. So, casual Tuesday for me. All right, Snips. Any chance mine has arrived there? Kathleen, I updated on Friday. If you haven't received a call yet, that means the salesman hasn't received the keys yet. They like to call after it's been set up and we receive keys.
He got most of them set up though.
Most of them,
theirs
yeah.
arrived? Or, I'll have to look it up.
I think it was almost here. So
Yeah, I don't think it's here yet.
and I haven't been here today. And Monday I was focused on Maverick orders,
I got no sheets today, so I
Yeah.
don't think we had anything come in today.
but we've been focused on a couple of other things. So
I haven't responded to any emails in the last 2 days. So.
Nope.
So I'll have to get on there. I'm sure there's a lot of people tagged me in Maverick Truck Club on some things.
Yeah.
We'll get into that tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll try to catch up this week.
Tomorrow's a catch up. Helps that I didn't have pricing. I need to redo all those pops. All right.
Yeah.
Why did Ford kill Azure Gray after only 1 year?
They did that on the Super Duty.
Who knows?
It's available on the because the Mavericks needed them. So they
need to get rid of the Area 51. There's a
Duty.
shortage on that pink color since everyone else has chosen it. So now they need a new blue to fill in. So they had to take it from Super Duty and move it to Maverick.
Yeah. So Super Duty. But that's just Glacier Blue. I don't know what color that is, what it looks like.
I want to say that would be like a light blue to me. But again, the quartz blue sounded like a nice baby light blue to me. And that's what you have on yours.
Yeah.
And it's dark. So who knows?
Who knows is right.
Is there a new date for the order banks opening in the 24 Bronco Sport?
We just mentioned that earlier. So it's next week on Tuesday. Okay. Right? 25th? I need to move my calendar up. Can't see. 25th.
All right. What are the new Super Duty colors?
Okay, so they gave us Glacier Blue or gray. I don't know. Let's look it up. Like I said, I haven't had a chance to look at it. I actually knew that information last week. I wasn't told. Super Duty. See, I can talk about this now. So now we can talk about Bruno. Okay, so here's some changes. I can talk about changes on Super Duty, and one of them is color. So we have a darkened bronze metallic that's new, and that's replaced stone gray, I believe, and then glacier gray metallic tri-coat, which replaced azure gray. Azure, which is it? I don't know.
I said azure, and I got corrected by upper management that it was azure or azure.
I don't know. Anyway, also the
but azure is how you pronounce it phonetically.
They did add back the pickup box delete on the F250 XL and XLT. A lot of people wanted that, so they brought that back. Heavy duty package for the pickup box delete as well was brought back. It's new packages this year. One of the things I think was great, onboard scales with smart hitch is now available as an option on the XL and XLT. That wasn't you had to go up to Lariat to get it. Now it's available in those others. I mean, those are the people that really need them. Your XL, XLT customers, those are the ones that need the onboard scales and smart hitch. So that is available now. Tow technology package is no longer a freestanding package like it was last year. The Pro Trailer Backup Assist, Trailer Reverse Guidance, and Pro Trailer Hitch Assist are now included in a Lariat Ultimate, King Ranch Platinum, and Limited. And then connected navigation with 1 year of connected services included on XLT Premium, Lariat, King Ranch, Platinum, and Limited. So they changed. They're actually doing that across the board on a lot of vehicles that have navigation. These are going to 1 year instead of having a connected and built-in connected. People were confused by that. And then engine update here. The 6.8 liter gas V8 is flex fuel capable on complete pickups. So those are the changes. So build and price will be available in September. Some people asked that. When's build and price available? September. Good luck there. So use 23s, I guess, on that. Let's see what else. Estimated okay to buy will be November. October for Kentucky. November for Ohio. What else? They're going to be producing the Super Duty from October through October. So it'll be a 13-month production, actually. So it's going to start the beginning of October in Kentucky and run through the end of October of next year, it sounds like. So it'll be a 13-month production. What else numbers can I give you? I can give you these numbers, right? I don't know. Spray and bed liner is 34% capacity. The tonneau covers 3%. Again, stay away from tonneau covers, people. Black appearance package is only 5%. Trimmer is 6%. The fifth wheel prep package is 35%. Platform running board is 37%. And these are capacity numbers. So that's what they plan to build those different options at. Diesel engines, 65%. Chassis cabs, 15%. Limited, 2%. Platinum, 6%. King Ranch, 5%. So there you go. And then all the dealers should have gotten their numbers last week. Ours was a really healthy number. We were really happy about it, especially since all of our carryovers are taken care of. We're basically starting scratch on 24, and we got a really good number. So, yeah, Super Duty. We'll take your Super Duty order and handle it. Alrighty.
All right. So I decided I would read through and try and get our Super Duty questions.
Okay.
I looked at the 24 order guide and didn't see job 1 and 2 division like 23. Will they be scheduling all trims throughout the production year?
Yes. So last year they said this year they will start the year off with production on all trims and all options.
All right.
Last year was because there was a bunch of new features and the different looks and everything. That's why they had to hold off on some things till job 2.
All right. Did you answer that? Tim indicated that all 23 unscheduled will be built. Does that mean that all limited platinum and King Ranch will be built? I think someone said, I think Tim's talking about
our orders.
Our orders.
But Ford is saying the reason they cut those off early was because they cut it off where they knew they could produce those. So that is their objective. And what they think they can do is to schedule out all of the limited King Ranch and platinums. And remember, there's like last week, we have 76 allocations to start the month. 15 got scheduled last week. So they'll schedule another increment each week for the next 4 weeks until the week of August 3rd. So, yeah, stay committed, find out. I mean, within the next several weeks, hopefully you'll see yours get scheduled. So.
All right. Back to the top. Those were our Super Duty. Oh, wait, one more. My dealers said since I have not been scheduled for 23 yet, I would need to put a 24 Super Duty order in. And that's what Ford is saying. Is that correct?
See, that's not what our Ford rep told us. We clarified that, and they said in that call is that they have it to where all of the current 23 orders should get scheduled. Now, if your dealership has less allocations than orders in there, your dealership might be a rare instance on that. And if that's the case, I mean, it doesn't hurt to put the 24 order in if you want to. We're not putting them in, like I said, except for that one order. We're going to have to reorder. But most cases, you shouldn't need to unless, again, the dealership has less allocations than what they have for orders. So that's the case. Like I was looking at ours. That 1 week, I think I said we had 100, but only 76 allocations. Well, once I took out the stock orders, we were down under that number. So none of our those stocks won't get scheduled. It'll be the others. So, but check with your dealer if they have less allocations than orders, though. And they may need to look and see, because they may be like me, where I looked at it and said, oh, wait, we have more orders than what we have allocations for. But then I got with the general manager, and he's like, well, let's take out the fleets. Let's take out the stock. And then we looked at it. We're like, oh, we're right on. So we got enough. They gave us enough allocations to cover our leftover unscheduled retail orders. And they should have done that for every dealer. So most dealers, unless they went over like we did on Maverick, in that case, maybe there is that rare situation. So.
All right. Next question. I finally got my build date for my MAV trimmer week of September 4th. Is it too late to add luxury package to it?
Ooh, I would say yes. There are a lot of situations where you can add maybe an option like a hitch or change a color, but you're adding a whole entire package onto it. It got scheduled because it didn't have that package. I can tell you that. That is why it got scheduled. So you can have the dealer try, but I would say probably not.
Yep. All right, we have our Quibido.
And if it
What?
does, it could push it out of the total production year.
All right. What is the best airport to fly into
For us,
to get to
Wichita,
us? Wichita.
and we pick you up
Yeah.
if you let us know. Let your salesperson
Yes,
know.
let us know. Debbie Honeycutt. If Ford has the wrong email address and then when it's corrected, will you get any of the emails that went to the wrong address?
They will not submit them again. It's kind of like it's a trigger. So each different part of the process will trigger an email to go out. If that confirmation email you didn't receive it and they look in there and they got the wrong email address, which is easy. I've been a lot today and I'm going off of handwriting, and some of it I'm like, is that an A? Is that an E? I can't tell.
Yeah.
And so it was difficult. So there is errors can be made. I'm sure I made a few. But they can correct that and resave it. And what that will do is then any future emails will go out.
So
but you
your
won't get the confirmation email. Won't happen again.
Yeah.
Ford's only gonna send it out for each of the trigger events.
Yeah.
So they're not going to go back and they're not going to notice that something's changed on the email address and resend it. But anything future here on, like when you get scheduled, you should get it then.
All right.
You want to make sure it matches the CVP, though. They may have to re-CVP with a new email address if they did that already.
All right. Bronco's asked question: are the crash bars supposed to be included with the vehicle?
On the Sasquatch, I would probably assume not, but I don't know. I know they took ours off when I added the bigger tires. On the Sasquatch, I don't know. If you're wanting the crash bars, you probably shouldn't go Sasquatch. That's probably what I'd say. So, anyway.
All right. Nathan McDonald said, can you use the Ford Rewards Pass card to make a down payment on a car, or is that card used for buying a vehicle? So like the Visa card.
Oh, well, you could if you want, probably. I mean, I'd probably limit it.
Dealers will have a limit on how much you can put on a credit card. For us, it's $2,000. Once you go over 2,000, the dealer's going to start to get fees put onto them.
Yeah.
They're actually quite significant.
Yeah, ours is like 3% or something.
Yeah. They told me if it goes over 2,000, you're looking at $100+ on each transaction.
Yeah.
All right. My dealer said he can't order Wild Track, no SAS on OBX or BL.
Outer Banks or Badlands?
Mm-hmm.
He can't order a Wild Track.
No SAS.
And no SAS on. So he's really going off of those estimates heavily. And I encourage dealerships not to worry about that, because maybe it's something you might tell your customer is that I can go ahead and order it for you, but just so you know, it may not get scheduled this month because we have so many orders, and according to Ford, our estimate, we're over that. So there might be a possibility yours may not get scheduled in 23, but I don't know why they wouldn't put it in there. We didn't look at that. When we put our orders in, we just put our orders in. And then later when we were done, I was like, well, I'm just kind of curious. How do we end up for 2-doors? Oh, we have 12 2-door orders and our estimate's 3. Well, guess what? We've already gotten scheduled for 5. That's a great example of why that is just an estimate. It's just an estimate. Go over. I mean, dealers should go ahead and be okay with taking over that number, because if not, if they get to the end and they go, well, we could schedule 2-doors, because you kept a 3, but now we can get you a couple more. What's going to happen? You're going to put in a stock order instead. Well, you could have helped the customer instead. So use that estimate. So they're adhering to that estimate, like it's like that isn't a number, but they should go ahead and put the order in. But that's a shame.
All right.
Anyway,
have the Bronco wait times still been extremely long? I've been thinking about ordering when my 24 order banks open.
Well, I mean, they're not as long as they were like a year and such. They're cleaning that up. Like I said earlier, what do we say? 16,000, I think, Bronco orders in the system. I think 16,000. What do they make a year? RegulaCon or a month, but RegulaCon can tell me. I think it's like, what, 75 or I can't remember what that number is now, top of my head. I get a lot of the models mixed up. But there's so many they can build, so they should be able to build. I mean, they have a couple months, I think, of orders in there, but just depends on what you order as well. stay away from those constraint items. I mean, I had a lot of fun at Wisconsin. Had a lot of fun with my Big Ben 4-door cloth top 2.3 with a rear locker. Had a lot of fun with it. Upgraded. I added the bigger tires to it and switched out the wheels, which you don't have to do. But I was able to go on a really nice off-road course. With a Big Ben with the rear locker, you can have a lot of fun, folks. You don't have to go up. I mean, in Sasquatch, they're cool looking wheels. You get the front locker, but how many times you can use that front locker? If you're going to do some rock crawling, you're going to climb up the rock, and you need that front ones going to get up, and you're going to do that all the time. Grab it, get the Sasquatch. If you're wanting it for look because you want the bigger tires or those the beadlock looking wheels, there are some options aftermarket for some beadlock wheels. Just I don't know. I'm one of those that go non-Sasquatch. You can have a lot of fun. You can get some 35s later. The standard is going to be 32s, but when they get it in, order some 35 KO2s. Let me see, those KO2s did a good job on the trail. We lowered down. They told us to lower down to 17 PSIs, and we lowered down to just 22. I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to go below 20. I lowered down to 22, and I handled everything without a problem at all. But anyway, they're the KO2s, and they said, well, do you have the stock wheels from the factory, the Wranglers? I'm like, no, I got the KO2s. Oh, you're gonna be fine then. So KO2s work really well, but that's my recommendation. Do that. Right. Don't worry about going Sasquatch. Lux package though, or at least a high package. I wish I had a front camera. I definitely, if you have a pack, one that can get the high package, go with the high package because you might want that front camera on the trail.
Yep.
Another question?
Bottenfield, if I ordered 24 Maverick from you, was estimated time receiving? We're not taking new orders for 24, so the soonest you would get it would be 2025.
You just got your 23. Does that work? Is it already miled up?
He doesn't like that. He doesn't have the cruise control. Or
He's got cruise.
No, the
adaptive
cruise. He didn't get the co-pilot assist plus.
We emailed everybody about that.
Yeah. And then there was something else he didn't like on, or he didn't have on it. Oh, Sirius. It doesn't have Sirius, but
we're not taking orders.
No.
For 24. Not new orders. It has Sirius. Sirius is actually standard on the Lariat Lux.
Paul, I have your question here. I'm still working our way down. Alrighty. If I remember correctly, if you have a 23 Bronco Sport order and it doesn't get built, there's no rebate / price protection for a rollover to 24.
Correct.
No worries, Paul.
Unless Ford changes their mind. I don't think they will. I mean, there's
just want to let you know.
There's 400? What'd you say?
I already had his.
Had whose?
Keep going on with your explanation.
Oh, there's not that many orders. So, what did we look at? Bronco Sport there's only 481 retail orders in the order bank. So, if yours doesn't get scheduled, then it's probably because of the Big Ben convenience package or the tech package on the Outer Banks. Otherwise, I don't see why it wouldn't get scheduled unless your dealer doesn't have an allocation. Because this is the last month they're going to be scheduling. So if your dealer doesn't have enough allocations for your orders, that would be the only way it doesn't get scheduled. But Order Bank opens up next week, so go ahead and order 24. Won't hurt.
For all the hybrid rollover Mavericks, so the private offers cover that the hybrid is now an option. So
we don't know yet. I mean, so Ford's they're not stupid. They know that they raised the price on the hybrid. So more than likely, private offers are going to be based on your trim and your motor. So based on what it's going to be this year. So like I said, I had an example last week, I think, where I had an example that, hey, it looks like the XL hybrid would go up about $2,300 or I think it was $2,400. More than likely, that's what the private offer amount's going to equal, somewhere around there for those people that had an XL. So your private offer is going to be based on last year's order. So last year, if you had an EcoBoost XL, your private offer is going to be based on an EcoBoost XL. If this year you decide, I want a hybrid, Well, you're going to pay $1,500 more. It probably will not cover the private offer. Probably would not cover that $1,500 increase. So, and we don't know what the private offers amount are right now, and I think it's Ford just hasn't decided yet, but I think we'll know in August. So I don't think we'll know for a couple more weeks. So, but there are some people that asked. They said, "Well, if I had a hybrid last year, but they go EcoBoost this year, what will happen?" I says, more than likely it'll be less because your private offer is going to be based on that hybrid, which they'll probably give you that extra $1,500. So more than likely, if you do that, you'll actually probably be cheaper than you were last year because if you go EcoBoost, so you'll have that in a sense lower price. We had some people go from 22 to 23 that actually were able to buy a XL hybrid for around 20 grand last year with the destination. So,
Is it true hybrid order banks have closed already? And how many carryovers do you think there were?
no, the order banks haven't closed yet. I just put in orders like an hour ago,
I know.
2 hours ago. No, I love Facebook. Okay.
All right.
Facebook gives me a lot of is it trues. It's gotta love them.
Have you all heard about dealers not taking 24 orders from people who ordered a 23 Maverick? Just got off the phone with my dealer, and they said that they may not be able to put in my carryover order.
What? No,
Call them.
they need to put that in. I mean, Ford even said that they the carryover orders are the first ones they need to take care of, not new orders. So that is a dealer preference. That is not what Ford said to do.
No.
In fact, they said it's going to be a very rare case that they won't get a dealership won't have enough allocations to cover those 23 model year carryover orders. They even said that most dealerships don't have their carryover orders don't amount to less or more than their allocations. We're a very rare. In fact, the brand manager said when they said that that question came up, they knew it was probably we'd be one of the few dealers. They are very rare that there's a dealer that cannot handle those carryover orders in the way of allocations for the 24. So it's the dealership.
It's the dealer.
It's just the dealer. Yeah, you need to call them. So no, Ford, and even tell them, show the email. Look at that email. What's that email say? I wish I still had a copy of that email, but that email says your dealer is to put in a new order for you, and you're going to get a private offer. Go in and order with your dealer. So you take that email, print it out, show them on your phone. Nope. Ford says you are supposed to put in my order with the same order number, same name for this year and COVP it so that I can get the private offer and that it will be ordered. And Ford will prioritize it. This is why Ford is taking over prioritizing these orders is because it's dealers like this that's not doing the right thing for their customers. Anyway.
All right.
Soapbox.
And if you have not received your email yet, check with your salesman. Have them check the email that was put in that's associated with your order.
For us?
For any of your dealers.
Oh,
any of your dealers. Check to see if they have your email wrong. It's super easy to make a typo.
Yep. And really, this was the first day you could put in orders. Last night it was like, again, last night was like last year, last September 15th. It was the same way. We could not submit orders, and so basically most dealerships went home. So we couldn't submit an order until after we were 10. Closed. It was I think we went home. A lot of us went home. General manager, myself, went in and was putting in orders and was able to submit. I think it was 7 or 8 o'clock last night. I know I was watching All Nation, so it must have been 8 o'clock before we could submit an order. So, so really, a lot of them really couldn't, do the orders until today. So they're probably just starting. So.
All right. Why did we have to add the Copilot 360 to order a trimmer?
You'd have to ask Ford.
Yeah.
I don't know. It gives you the bliss in the lane keeping system. I don't know what that has to do with the trimmer performance. Well, didn't have to last year, but yeah.
Now, isn't it required to get FX4? You have to get the trailer hitch or the 4K?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think it's more of it's a simplified thing here because I think trimmer. I don't know if it doesn't require the Lux package though, which I'm surprised it didn't require that on the XLT. Lariat's going to require it, but on the XLT, I think they're trying to make things a little bit easier for production. So
yeah. Many folks are reporting their dealer used a new order number for their 23 to 24 rollover. Are they going to miss the private offer?
Yeah,
Any way to correct that?
it's they can change the order now. So if they change the order number, they can change that order number now before COVPing, and it
Mhm.
can fix that. So you can go in there, and in fact, we did one where I think we noticed where we had put in instead of a B at the beginning, we put in the wrong letter on an order, and so we changed it real quick. Once a COVP happens, they're going to look at the order number, that order number, and the COVP information they need to match. So they can fix that now before doing the COVP, or if they've already done the COVP, then they can change that number and redo the COVP with the correct information.
Yeah.
But yes, they could do it that way, and it will be a lot harder for Ford to match up the private offer otherwise.
Yeah.
The hard part is, like last year, we saw a lot of people struggling with private offers, Bronco as well, and it's really difficult for them, especially when they switch dealers. That's why they're requesting for them to go back to the same dealer, because they can easily prioritize and do the private offers if it's one in the dealership. But when it's a different dealership, it's really difficult for them to do. They have to go case by case. It's a lot more automated if everything matches, and so that's the reason. So not that the private offer is probably gone for sure, but it's gonna probably, when the vehicle comes in, the private offer won't match and won't show up. And so they're probably going to have to run through some hoops, get the sales inventory specialists involved. It'll take a couple days, that kind of thing. But
All right. Reiner Khan says, obviously, you need Copilot 360 on trimmer so the system can beep at you and vibrate your steering wheel that a rock is in your blind spot while off-roading when it wants to merge into that rock's lane.
there you go.
All right. If you order a vehicle, does that mean you're locked into it?
If you change your mind.
If you want to change your mind.
No.
No,
Not
really.
necessarily. If your dealership required a deposit, you might lose your deposit.
Yeah. On our trim levels that require deposit, it's usually refundable as long as it's not scheduled. Once it's scheduled, it's non-refundable.
Yeah, because that's configured to you, and so
Yep.
Depending on the vehicle, it might be a struggle, so to sell. So
All right. I want to pick up my Maverick hybrid order from you in April or later, as I will be coming from Florida and I want it to be warmer. Is there anything I can do?
it's trying to like prolong one to get scheduled late.
Well,
We actually we did it one.
We did it one.
It worked pretty good, but
in 22, but we almost didn't get it. So
yeah,
we almost kept the
yeah.
restraints on it too long.
So what you can do is put some constraint items on there, but if it gets scheduled, either be quick in removing those items if it ends up getting scheduled on accident.
The main one you could add is splash guards.
The protective film.
Or the
That's the one.
protective
That's
film.
the one, I think. So, by the way, if you do have an order with us and you had some things
Mud
like
flaps.
that, if you had the splash guards, if you had the bed covers and some of those things added on your order, when I reordered, I did not put them on your order. That's on me. Some people, when they ordered them, they did put it exactly what it was last year. If I noticed when I put in an order, you had a bed cover or you had splash guards or protective film, I didn't add it to your order. So you might want to look that over real closely. Do you want it? We can put it on, but know that it's going to take longer for yours to get scheduled.
Just
so
get it
don't
through
cry
aftermarket.
to me about it if it doesn't schedule quickly, because that's your fault.
Yeah. Blanca said mud flaps. That's what they added to
That's
theirs.
what they added to theirs. They added splash guards. So, she is in here, and yeah, she was the customer that we did that with, and it actually worked out pretty closely. They wanted theirs in the summer,
but
and
almost too
close. But then it didn't schedule when we wanted it. We took it off, and I think it took a month or two. But yes, it worked out. So
all right.
It's a gamble.
I noticed that Ford order photos on the Maverick 24 XLT and Lariat trimmer front seats do not have the orange embroidered trimmer name or the orange stitching on the seats.
On the order, those.
I wouldn't pay attention to the.
Are we talking about pictures on the confirmation email? Those I wouldn't even worry about. We can confirm that the vehicles showing up on 23 have those. So I would worry about what the order guide says and not worry about what some picture shows on the order sheet. So I'm not sure what you're talking about, but that would be my take on that.
Why is the black appearance package the same price on the XLT and Lariat? Shouldn't it be cheaper on the Lariat as you are already paying for the 18-inch wheel upgrade?
It's a different wheel, I think.
Yeah.
Because you're not on the XLT, you're not getting. Do you get an upgraded? I have to look at the order guide. I don't know if you're upgrading to 18.
Also, even if you're not changing the wheel,
everything else is the same.
Except
Black
the
interior.
seats.
Well, but the seats are just changing colors. They're still the same material. They're still ActiveX. You're just getting black instead of the other color. Same way on the cloth seats.
Right.
Everything's the same between them. You're getting black interior on both. You're getting the same emblems. You're seeing the same grills and everything else. It's the same.
Mm-hmm.
The same information. The only thing in the last year we thought it was door handles, and no, not door handles not included.
Mm-hmm.
The wheel, I'd have to look at the wheel, but I mean, I think even now I'm curious.
Do you
I just
think in
gotta
25
know
production the Maverick will be able to keep up with the orders?
if dealerships stay within their allocations.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stuart, I don't think we got to you yet. Was the roof spoiler removed from options? I didn't notice it for 24.
So all the accessories, that's aftermarket.
Okay.
So they might have removed it, but you can get it through Ford Accessories.
So the build and price photos are not always correct. There have been times where he's making a video on a trim, and he goes through and it's missing the side mirrors, or it's
missing the running board altogether.
Yeah. Or it's just those are not always correct. It might take Ford a few months to actually get those in there.
Although
correctly.
they are bragging that it's the first model that's had a complete build and price ready to go when the order guides open, or when the order banks open up.
At least we have a build and price when they opened.
It'll be September for Super Day, and the order banks opened the same day as Maverick. So
yes.
All right, so you get I see what they're saying. So on XLT, you go from a 17-inch wheel to an 18-inch wheel. But on a Lariat trim, you go to an 18 to an 18, but it is a different wheel though. So you're still getting a different wheel. So, but the size doesn't go up. So, but you are upgrading the wheel to the more expensive wheel anyway. So
the
that's why
pricing
it's
is
the same.
wrong for Lariat Hybrid on build and price. Yes. So they have it in there. There just might be a few bugs that they need to iron out.
No, it's not wrong on Lariat Hybrid. So probably some people are seeing a negative or a discount. And that's because you can't get a Lariat front-wheel drive EcoBoost. If you did, then you would see a plus 1,500. But because you can't, so the base EcoBoost motor on a Lariat is all-wheel drive required, which is a $2,200 add. So if you take $2,200, you subtract the $1,500. That's why you see the hybrid actually being a discount on the Lariat trim. So it's a little pricing thing. So you'll actually show it on your order sheet. It'll show that a Lariat hybrid is a negative discount of $700, and that's because the standard is an EcoBoost all-wheel drive. So you actually lose the all-wheel drive. That's $2,200 less. So that's why you see a discount of $700.
Mm-hmm.
So that makes sense.
Is the new 24 Super Duty deleting the heated steering wheel altogether?
On 24?
Yeah. Hard to say.
Yeah, I haven't looked at the order guide yet.
Super Duty trim level capacity numbers, that percentage for the year or per month? Those are usually per month.
Yeah, I think production cycle. I think for that for whatever they're scheduling for.
Yeah.
Production cycle they're scheduling for. I think
what they're scheduling for, the amount of parts that they have each month varies.
It's probably on a monthly, because those numbers can change.
Mm-hmm.
I know we know for a fact, like XL Mavericks changed. It went from 15% to 20%. So it can change, but I think that's on a monthly basis, based on parts mainly.
Bottenfield said that he did not get the California required front license plate bracket, but I don't care. I like it. It's better looking. But if you don't have it on it, you can get pulled over and fined.
So. Yeah, maybe.
All right. Why was Hermosillo able to build so many Fusions but struggled to make the Maverick?
Well, the orders and weren't different then. So, you know,
Right. They weren't taking as many custom orders back then.
yeah. So it's the demand.
Yeah. The demand for
They
custom
probably were
orders
building.
is,
They were probably building the same number as they are for the Maverick.
yeah.
It's just we didn't know it because not everybody wanted a
Fusion. Like they didn't
Oh, I
want
need
a
a
custom Fusion.
yeah. I want
So
a
you were,
Fusion hybrid. Give me.
yeah.
I need. So we didn't
It was
see that
more
number.
back then. It was more of a, oh, I see it on the lot. I like it. Tell me if you get one in.
Yeah, it wasn't. Yeah. So
Or you shopped around at other dealers, or we dealer traded. We have a lot fewer dealer trades now
yeah.
than back then too. So
Yeah, they were able to keep up with production. Eventually, the Maverick will get to that point, right? I mean, because there's a little bit different competition on the Fusion. So for Fusion, you had the Camry, the Accords. They were out there competing. Right now, the only competition to the Maverick is the Santa Cruz. That is it, and they don't have a hybrid. So whereas on the other models on the against the Fusion, there was some competition. So that's why the demand wasn't as high as it is on the Maverick. So Maverick is nobody else has one like that if you want a hybrid.
could we see eruption green color on next year's Mavericks like we see on Bronco Sports now? We don't know.
Yeah, don't know.
We have no idea what is going to go on for 25.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Fusion Hybrid was an underrated car. Very much so. I wish they still made it.
Now, will they get rid of the eruption green on the Miracle Sport this year?
Oh.
Who knows? I think Cyber. Wait, actually, I know some information. Can I talk about it?
We don't talk about briefs here.
You know what? Spill the beans anyway.
We don't talk about.
I'm giving you a couple weeks, Ford.
No.
Now you're out of time. Bronco Sport. Building price is supposed to go live the day the order banks open up on the Bronco Sport, by the way.
There we go.
There you go. Big news.
I think
All right.
that answered
They are removing Area 51, Alto Blue, Cyber Orange. So the same colors from the Maverick they are removing from the Bronco Sport as well. New color, Azure Gray, and Desert Sand, which I don't know. Ow. I just got a paper cut. Golly. All right, let's look at the Maverick. Now we have Maverick. Is it going to bleed? No, it's not going to bleed. Okay, man. I hurt.
Just show us the picture and don't say anything. No, because that would be worse than saying the things.
Okay, so what's the color codes? I'm going to go down here, the color codes for the Maverick. Let's see if it's the same. If Desert Sand is the same as
Michael
terrain.
Craig, that whether or not they
Same
price, it is the same color.
Yep. So they'll get Terrain or Desert Sand and Azure Gray as well. So those are new colors for the Bronco Sport as well in 3 colors. And the 2 Heritage Limited Edition colors are being removed as well. So that may have been a 1 year. Heritage Limited may have been a 1 year, one and done. Mm-hmm. Also, they are because they're removing Heritage Limited 410A series, and they're also no more base Bronco Sports this year. So, and then they are going back to their original Shadow Black roof is back as standard on the Outer Banks and Badlands again. So going back to that again. And the keypad entry, which actually we didn't talk about keypad.
No.
Because that was removed.
Oh, you forgot that.
I didn't put that on there. I knew
Maverick
I was forgetting
keypad is removed.
So the Bronco Sport, the keypad is now a dealer installed option, which maybe they're going to add that the dealer installed. I think because, okay, so I was asked for some input on people if they were upset with the keypad entry because they removed it as standard equipment on the XLT and the Lariat trim. I think they're going to make it a dealer installed option as maybe a job too. So we might see that added back on. So those that want a keypad entry, there's a possibility it could be a dealer installed options, but it'll just be, like I said, a sticker that goes on. I mean, whatever.
Like you can get through aftermarket right now.
Yeah. It does say on the Bronco Sport, there's 2 new wheel offerings available from Ford Performance Parts. There you go. And a new series and package offerings as part of Ford's derivative strategy. Don't know what those are, and they don't tell us. So
We don't know why there's no hybrid in
I guess
Bronco
they'll let
Sport.
us know. No MSRP change on the Big Ben. It's going to be a carryover from 23. There will be a visual price discount. I don't know why they said visual price discount. I don't like it when they add a word in there. A visual price discount on convenience package, and visual price discount on the Ford Copilot 360 Plus package, and a $300 MSRP increase on the Outer Banks, Heritage, and Badlands.
What are they trying to describe with visual?
I don't know. Visual price discount. I don't know. I don't get it. Production is going to run 12 months. Hopefully, I'm not getting in trouble here. See, I'm putting this down into the Q&A part. Ford doesn't go.
When we have fewer
Once they start
viewers.
Q&A, they're like, okay, he's done with the stuff. Like, no, I bring out stuff. You got get the little. You got to watch the whole video, get the little tidbits of stuff that I try to get away
don't
with.
do it all the time.
Yep. Let's see here. Dealers will get their number. Our number's pretty big. Oh, I like now. They're actually now giving a range. Have you seen that? So on the most recent estimates for dealers allocations is they give you what your current 12-month sales volume number is. And then if you have a good month or you increase, then it could be up to this much. Or if you decrease, it could be as low as this much. So that way they give you more of a range in what you can take. They started doing that on Super Duty and Bronco Sport. So not quite sure of course, they didn't do it on Maverick, but anyway, whatever. There you go. Key information. So some of that will be redundant if you watch our what's new for the Bronco Sport on Tuesday. But so there you go.
All right.
Could be interesting. Got to get some videos done. Super Duty.
Is Raptor R returning for 24?
Raptor on the F-150?
I don't know.
Order guides aren't out yet. I don't know. We'll see. I assume so.
Yes. Keypad can be added on the door as an accessory once it arrives.
Yeah, you can.
Ford makes a Raptor for everything. Do you think they'll ever make a Super Duty Raptor?
I don't know.
You'd have to supercharge that engine or do all the capabilities.
Raptor's all about racing. They usually don't see the Super Duties out racing.
No, they're working.
Probably not. You can get a trimmer though.
The F-150s are having fun while the Super Duties work.
No, you can go take a Super Duty trimmer. It's got water fording and all the capabilities of the shocks. And
if I have a dealer order and install a roll-up tonneau cover from Ford Accessory, will it be the same price as from factory?
The only difference is the cost of the will be the same. Basically, Ford's installing it at the factory for free. If you have the dealership do it later, then you'll have to pay for the labor cost. That'll be the difference, or you can install it yourself. So it's basically one of those things you can think about is okay, the roofs, the top, the cover is going to be the same price. Now you just have to have the hassle of putting it on. But if it saves you 3, 4, 5, maybe even 6 months. I mean, we had some orders last year that they were totally overlooked until we took that bed cover off and then boom, scheduled. And so if it means that 20, 30, like for us, 100 orders gets passed by you because you have it on there. And I mean, how much money can you save in fuel on a hybrid and the time to have a dealer install it for you? Or install it yourself. We have videos on how to install it. A one-person job can be done in about an hour. So it can be done. Watch our video. Blake did a good job on that one of installing that, and you can get that done afterwards. So,
all right.
Is your buddy Niles in here tonight?
He was.
He
headed out.
So Niles was at Bronco Supercell. He had a lot of fun.
Yep.
Learned a lot about Bronco stuff too. So
you don't think about it, but these car events and these the car shows, Supercell, these events can be great learning opportunities because you have vendors there. You have Ford came to Ford Carlisle. They were there. They had stuff to show off and teach. And so when you're going to these events, you can learn quite a bit from the vendors and people around you.
Yep.
Heck, I mean, if RagnarCon was there, you could probably learn quite a bit. So, there's people that spend their entire time on Bronco and nothing but Bronco. And so they learn everything there is to know about Bronco.
Yep.
So if you ever want to know something, go to a Supercell and you're going to learn everything you want to know.
Yep. All right. Any other questions? That's all of them?
Yeah.
See ya. I'm just kidding. All right. Well, remove that one.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Sleeping on the couch is
Well,
not fun.
let us know if you have anything else. Then pop it in there.
Yeah.
If we missed your question, there you go.
All right.
Throw it in there. Okay. If nothing else, give you a few little minutes there. But again, all right. Anything else?
So someone said they saw on the forums that the rollover Maverick will be built. If all rollover Maverick will be built before February.
Okay, that's a lie.
We can't.
That's not necessarily true. Again, that's based on each dealer. You know, I mean, if a dealer has 20 rollovers and they get 20 allocations the first month, then yeah, for that dealer, that's true. So again, it's probably something that one dealer told them is that we can have yours, you know, that rollover order built by February. Well, got to remember, production's going to start in October, right? So, you know, if they have enough allocations that they're figuring that, hey, we're going to get this many allocations each month, and they have that many to fulfill, then they could probably say that with their orders, but not nationwide. For us, it's going to take the full year to produce what we have because we have enough allocations to cover the full year. So it's for our customers, it's going to take, some of them may not get produced until the very end. Right?
Yep.
So that's not true.
Someone said they worry the Toyota Stout which will compete with Maverick, will have much more production and cheaper price, and eventually outsell it.
Have we seen information on that yet?
Nope, not to my knowledge.
Yep, and the Cyber truck is going to compete with the F-150. So far, it hasn't. So, because it's not even being built. So, I mean, we got to see these vehicles being in production and such, because, you know, we saw the Cybertruck by, you know, Tesla was brought out, introduced before the Lightning, and the Lightning's being produced now. We're on in almost to the end of the second model year of production, and we still don't see a Cybertruck. So again, we gotta see it released, information about it and that kind of stuff before we can start, you know, making it a competitor to the Ford. And will it be? Nobody knows anything about it. We've just been teased about it. Are they going to have a hybrid version? Is it going to be a competitor to the Maverick? Is it going to be a competitor to the Ranger? I mean, well, not the Ranger, I guess, because we got the Tacoma for that. But, you know, hopefully it is a good vehicle, you know, I mean, but.
We got 5 more questions.
Oh.
When are you thinking order banks for Mav will close?
Oh, I don't know. I think because now ahead of time they gave dealers that information about how many orders they can take, it'll be different. I don't think it's going to close necessarily that fast, because dealers are going to be able to, they're going to say, like, well, actually, we already have a dealer right now is saying that they're not going to produce, or they're not going to take orders on even their carryover because they don't have enough. And maybe that's what it is like, hey, we're max, we can't do it, so we're not going to do it at all. But you know, so I think it'll be, I don't know. I mean, it could be a week, it could be 10 days. I mean, I'm sure the orders are still there, especially with the pent up demand. But I mean, all right, I don't know. It'll be quick, probably. That's why we were hurrying through. And like last year, we were having guys putting in orders and doing CVP all at the same time. This year, we're like, we're going to put in the orders, and then we'll get you the guys the orders, and you can, let's make it updated. But we need to get those orders in there because we did not need any carryover order to get not get put in the system, and then the orders are locked down. So, so we'll just have to see.
Right. Thank you, Blanca, for the tip. She did a super sticker.
Thank you very much. A little dancing pear. Pear, is that what that is?
Yeah. All right.
Nice to see you in here, Blanca.
Can I add Lux package to my rollover 24 XLT without affecting my private offer?
Okay, your private offer is based on your 23 order. So that's locked into place at this point. So if you didn't have Lux package last year, Doesn't mean you can't order it this year. It just means it's probably going to be more expensive than it was last year. So what you ordered last year, let's say it's a certain price range, your private offer will make the difference if you want to order the exact same thing this year. So if you did that, you just got to figure it's going to be probably a couple $1,000s more this year than what you're planning last year, right?
All
So that's how that difference would be.
right. Oh, Johnny, hi. He's late. It's been a busy week. That's okay. You
I'm
made it.
sure he's busy putting in some orders too.
Yeah. Do you think Maverick can be built at another Ford plant also to meet demand?
I mean, I don't. There's a reason why it's built there with a Bronco Sport, and it's
Mhm.
because the chassis they're able to do that. Just kind of Ranger Broncos are built together. If they want to build more, a lot of people are like, oh, let's just make more Broncos there instead of Rangers and put Rangers somewhere else. It's not that simple. They're built on those same chassis, same way, on some other vehicles.
They have them
So,
paired up for a reason.
yeah, so that's probably not going to happen. So.
Is the demand as strong for the Maverick this year as it was last year, or have the prices impacted it?
Well, probably one of the reasons is having the prices going up. We'll see maybe a little lower in demand, but I still mention this and that. Can you find another? Even if you compared it, like some people, I think even Johnny might have, since he's in here, he might have even explained this too. But you know, you know, if you're looking at another vehicle, let's say a Ford vehicle, what is the cheapest? What is the next other vehicle you can get that's the lowest expensive vehicle? A Ford Escape starts at $28,000, so it's still cheaper than the cheapest Ford Escape. And so because of that, I mean, you're still looking at one of the cheapest vehicles. If we look at some of the other vehicles out there, let's find another hybrid that's as cheap as this. So I know the hybrid XL is like, I think 26.5 with destination delivery as a hybrid. Yes, it's more expensive than it was, and people are still using that 20,000 price range. That is before destination last year. So it was really like, or 2 years ago. So it was really like 21.5. So yes, it's $5,000 more than it was 2 years ago, but it's still cheaper than anything else out there with a hybrid. So I think the demand's still there. It's still one of the cheaper. Is it as high? I think there were some people that like, I'll do it just because it's $20,000 and what can I lose? Right. But now that the vehicles are out there and they realize the quality of them, I mean, you know, I don't know. I think Ford knows now. And another thing we're seeing, and I think Johnny actually mentioned this, is that what we're seeing here with this is that by Ford raising the prices some, their hoping is that we see less price increases. So will the prices on vehicles that are available on dealer lots be the same price? They'll probably be the same price, but less markup. We're going to see less markup. So now you see an XL, which a couple years ago was being sold for $30,000 when it was a 21 price range. So it was marked up $10,000. Well, now it's going to stay at that $31,000, but now it's going to be marked up $5,000. So we're probably going to see that come down. So dealer making less, Ford making more. So there's still the same markup there. So yeah, there you go. So I don't know. Anyway.
All right. Is the hybrid going to be part of the private offer, seeing that is now an option?
So hybrids, yeah, I guess it's an option. It's a price increase of $1,500. Like I said, we don't know what the private offer looks like. I can't wait to get that so we can kind of put a lot of this stuff to bed. But the private offer is going to justify that increased price. Ford's not going to say, you had an XLT last year, the price went up $1,500, you're getting $1,500, but the hybrid's $1,500 more, so now it's going to cost you $1,500. They're not going to do that. If you had a 23 order last year, the reason they do price protection within the model year is because it's not fair for them to raise the price and then make you have to pay more when it comes in. That's why they do a price protection within the model year, so that you get that was when you order the vehicle. They can't do that from model year to model year, but instead they give you that private offer to make that difference of that. So the hybrid will be into that. If you ordered a hybrid last year, you're going to see those people that had ordered a hybrid last year versus an EcoBoost will probably get $1,500 more private offer than people that didn't, right? We will see that difference. So just wait for those prices to come out and those private offer amounts. But I'm going to tell you, doing this for several years and seeing some private offers the last few years, I can almost guarantee you. Well, we saw that in 22 to 23, there was $1,000 difference between a hybrid and an EcoBoost because the hybrid was actually the standard motor. EcoBoost was more expensive by 1,000. So we saw the difference because the next year they were even on the price. So because of that, they gave the hybrids a different amount than the EcoBoost because then the EcoBoost was cheaper. So they even that out. So they're going to do the same thing, folks. They're going to take care of you. So it should be pretty similar to what it was last year. People that carried over from 22 to 23, they noticed that private offer made up that difference and they came really darn close to the same price the year before. I mean, within hundreds of dollars. So you should be fine. If you order it the same way from 23 to 24, you're going to be taken care of, folks.
Right. Is Ford estimating when is Ford estimating private offer details will be released?
I'm trying to remember from the webcast if they mentioned it. I think it's going to be in August. So, but I don't know exactly when. So,
will all Ford dealerships be eligible for allocations, or if they don't deal with small vehicles, will they be overlooked by Ford?
Okay, so allocations are given based on their sales volume. So this year, 65% of the sales volume will be based on the Maverick, and the other rest of that percentage is based on other three different models, and that's how the dealership earns allocations. So that's how we earn 325 allocations. Some dealers aren't going to get very many. I talked to a dealer, Bronco Supercell in Wisconsin. They're getting 10 because they don't sell that many because of the number. So. Yeah. Right. So it's going to be based on the allocations, really based on their sales volume in the last year. That's how they earn it.
All right.
Any other questions? There's been a lot of comments in there.
Nope. As for, I did see someone ask earlier about, how do you get your payments lower when you're financing? The more you put down, the lower your payments will be.
Or the longer term.
Longer term. Those are just two of the ways. So, yeah, MAV owners like me with 0%, 36. Yeah.
Yeah, there was
Someone said, would the rates be a reason to not buy? There's been higher rates.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a picture from I don't know when, but way back when, and it was 11%. So there's been higher rates on cars, and it's just they're going to sell either way because
rates are based off the prime, and as the prime goes up, the rates are going to go up.
I mean, we've gotten to a
prime rates come down, then the rates
in
go down.
Society where we rely on vehicles, and some people go without a vehicle, but the people that have vehicles currently are going to want them. So either way, they're going to sell.
And there aren't going to be any special rates carried over, locked in. I mean, a lot of people like, well, are they going to lock in my incentives and everything? Well, there aren't any on the Maverick. So, and typically you're going to see that high demand vehicles or vehicles that people need, like Super Duties. We never really saw really low rates on Mustangs.
Ranger.
Ranger sometimes gets them, but I mean, some of those vehicles that are in high demand, Bronco doesn't have right now, Super Duty, Maverick, because people they're in high demand right now, so you're not going to ever see them. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it may not be any good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can always look at it in a lot of different ways, but if you want,
yeah. And if you're purchasing with us, which I think Zoom you are, your salesman can go over all the options with you and see what the best way to do it is. All right. We don't have any other questions. And it is 9:32. 9:30 is usually our cutoff.
Yep. Yep. Need some rest. Stayed up late putting in orders, but I paid off. We're all done.
I was up at 4 a.m. with a sick child.
So tomorrow at some point we'll get the there are several sheets we need to print yet because I was just putting in orders last night from home, so I couldn't print them. But we'll get all the sales guys will start getting, if you have orders with us, we'll start getting those sheets and start contacting you to confirm those and getting the COVP paperwork and everything, because we'll have to do that again. Should have several weeks to get COVP done if you're at a dealership that maybe hasn't done that yet. Still time to do that. But now that we have our orders in, we'll be able to do that tomorrow, and hopefully they'll start contracting this week and make any changes we need to. We'll be able to do that. So,
Yep. Alrighty.
All right.
I think it's time to hop off.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much for all the questions and the conversation and everything. I appreciate it, and hope you guys got some information from this and helped you out.
Ragnarcon, if you're serious about the shirt idea with the priority codes, let me know. I can design something. Share your idea with me. I'm interested.
All right. Well, thank you guys very much. I appreciate you joining us tonight. All right. I think we're about done. So thank you guys very much. Stay positive. Be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourselves.
And we'll see you guys on the next video.
You didn't have it set up.
I don't have the intro. Here we go. Now we're going. Bye.